right, and we are back. And welcome, John, Michael, and Dylon Cunningham. It's. I know this has been a long time, kind of in the works for us to finally sit down, but gentlemen, we are here, and welcome to the podcast, my friends.
Thanks for having us.
I love it, dude. There we go, dude. That's gonna make a good short anyway, because I'm gonna add some stuff to it. Just
That's really funny.
Anyway, gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about, and this is not the only podcast we're going to do. This is just our introductory podcast, so you guys can introduce yourself to the world, and we get to hear your story of where it all started and where you guys are at now and what's in the future for you two gentlemen, right? Obviously, we got a mutual friend in Daniel Shoemake. He's been watching, your guys' social media. I already know you're fast. I see all the trophies there at Ware and all that good stuff you guys race at, right? I get it. Congratulations, by the way. You guys are total rippers, man, on two wheels. Absolutely amazing. I was never that fast, right? So, but anyway, it's all for the love of them two wheels. So, I got two brothers sitting here, which is, I don't think I've ever had two brothers on the show at one time. So you guys are the first, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, let's go. So I want to start off with this. Who's older?
I'm older. John Michael's older here.
He said John Michael's older. So how much older are you than Dylon?
I'm 27 and
he's 25. So right at 2 years.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that ain't bad. I have a little brother and he's 8 years younger than me. So you imagine the between us, right? So I used to beat the shit out of him when he was little and all that cool stuff, right? Which I'm sure, John, you probably did a little bit of that maybe.
A little bit, but he grew bigger than me relatively early. What probably 12, 11,
school
12, 13 years old. He was 10, 11, and it started. So he's significantly taller than me. He's like 3 inches taller than me. Mm-hmm. But we bounce back and forth on who's heavier. So I'll lose a little weight. He'll lose a little weight. I'll gain some. He'll gain some. But I'm a little softer than he is. He's fairly well built, and he works out a whole lot more than me. So.
Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, my brother, he lives in Colorado, and I really don't talk to him too much. I wish I talked to him more, right? But it's my fault too, because I don't reach out as much as he don't reach out, right? But I need to change that for sure. But anyway, gentlemen, growing up, two brothers, obviously. Tell us where you grew up. Let's start that. Where you guys born? Where'd you guys grow up? I'm gonna change it up a little bit different on this podcast.
Yeah. So we're from Nashville, Middle Tennessee area. We was born in Nashville. We lived in Mount Juliet, which is about a half hour east of downtown Nashville. Dad has a farm out there. So he had cows when we were really little, but then just sold the cows and just kind of had land. And he ran his own electric business, and he was a union electrician for 20 something years. And then he ran his own company for a little while. And then work was kind of weird around that 2008, 2009 time for him as a private electrician who only really had himself. He didn't really have any employees. So, and then he got into landscaping, and he's grown to a pretty serious level in the landscaping game. So that's kind of kept, and obviously having all the equipment from the farm translated directly into landscaping. So grew up on the farm, and that's my first motorcycle was it was an XR50. So that's where I started on two wheels. And I believe, he had the same thing. He had one as well. Yeah, he had the same one. And then we had two for a short period of time. And then I got an XR100 and rode it around a little bit, but not a whole lot. It's just not a whole lot of opportunities between Dad being busy at work and then obviously at school. We were both multiple sports. Played football predominantly. And then when we were really little, t-ball and baseball. And then got into middle school, it was wrestling, football and wrestling. So that's
awesome. So both you guys played the same sports growing up together?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. I love the brotherhood, right? It's I feel like having somebody that close to you elevates your game even more, right? Because especially if you share the same passion, or sometimes you don't, but you're doing it because you're bigger, or your little brother's doing it, and you just want to be better than them, right? Just to rub it in their face. Yeah, both of them, like, yeah, absolutely, right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's where the competition comes from, but it's like no matter what you're doing, you always got somebody there that is on your team.
Yeah, you got a teammate for life.
Yeah,
that's something. And looking back now, it's great that our parents really instilled that in us. No matter what, if we were competing against each other, we were still teammates. So. That's why we still do what we do to this day.
Yeah, I mean, we still talk probably 2 or 3 times a day on the phone.
Yeah.
So do you guys work at the same place?
Say again?
Do you guys have the same job? Do you guys work together at the same?
No, I'm a site superintendent for an earthwork company, so I do excavating. I don't physically do the utilities. We oversee utilities, and he's a general contractor. So
Nice.
we're actually in his office right now.
Same field though, basically, right?
It's construction, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Right. I did construction for a little bit. My cousin actually had a construction company with a partner, but it's no longer existing anymore. But dude, I did a lot of work at Virginia Tech. We went up there and did. That's a whole nother story I don't want to get into. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Learned a whole lot. Now I do most of the stuff around my house. I was like, dude, I've done tile before. I framed up walls before. Like, this is easy, right? I knocked this down. I love demo. That demo, they're like, I need you to tear all this shit out. I'm like, gotcha.
So I actually work for a company. We're Demo Plus. We're one of the leading earth moving companies in Nashville, but we do demolition as well. So we specialize in like 5 stories, around 5-story buildings, which is a lot. There's a lot of demolition happening in Nashville for the expansion for all the people that are moving in here. So a lot of companies tear down existing buildings and build skyscrapers. So one of the things we do at work that we really are trying to get in a nice niche is coming in, demoing these buildings downtown, and then going down with blasting and building, excavating these basements for these skyscrapers for like underground parking. So we've done a few downtown holes, but we've done a lot of demo, but we're trying to get on. We've had a few jobs where we do the demolition and earthwork, but it's I don't want to get too deep in the weeds here, but that's what I do, my 9 to 5.
Love it, man. Who don't like destroying shit and blowing it up, right? Like, did you give me some tannerite and leave me to my guns? I'm gonna put a hole somewhere for sure, right?
I can put a hole in a set of heads pretty quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're big into guns. We're a family of guns, right? We're America, baby. We all gotta have them guns.
Motor heads.
Yeah, engine heads.
Oh, me too, right? Me too, but guns too, right? So
I mean, both.
100%. So growing up on the farm, you guys had a lot of land, XR100, right? Which I have a CRF100. I mob it all the time. I love that little bike. You learn so much riding those too, right? So where'd you guys go from there? Like high school, obviously you guys played sports in high school, but when did you guys first get your street bikes?
So I had one. My dad gave me my very first street bike I guess it was my chopper.
That's what I'm trying to
Chopper
think.
was the biggest. So I had an American. I still have it to this day. I have an American Iron Horse Tejas. Really cool bike. SNS 111 crate motor, Baker 6-speed transmission. It was one of the kind of shorter ones. It wasn't the real long like the big dog canines with the real long frame and real raked out front end. But it was still real long and real raked out. It's hard to ride.
Nonetheless, full on chopper.
Yeah, full custom chopper. Green, I mean, just as you think of the color green, and that's what it looked like. It was crazy.
Imagine what 21-year-old riding this to a college class.
Yeah, at 18. No, I was 18, fresh. I rode it to college a few times because I lived in I went to Cumberland University in Lebanon, and our farm is right between Mount Juliet and Lebanon in the Mount Juliet side. So I rode my chopper 25 minutes to school, and I was 180 pounds on this just
big old brother machine. It seems obnoxious.
Yeah,
because I know how he rides too.
It was basically open headers. It had aftermarket pipes on it, so I mean the pipe from the head to the tail was no longer than that, and you can imagine
super loud.
Oh, yeah, ignorant. Even at idle, you're just, what is that noise?
But then what was after that?
After that was the Buell. I had an XB. I had an XB9, a little Buell XB9, phenomenal little bike. My dad actually still
phenomenal.
He tracked. That was his first track bike. So sold it back to him, and he rode that. That was his first track bike. That carried him a long ways. They're great little bikes.
They are. They really are.
Yeah, we're big. We really like Buells. So I had that bike, and then there was a short period of time between I had those, and then I sold all my bikes back to my dad for a little while, and then around. Was it 4 years ago? Oh, I did have a Harley. I had a Lowrider S the last year of the twin cam. So it was a 2017 Lowrider S, and it had Allegedly, I don't really know what was done to the motor because I didn't get inside of it myself, but I was told by somebody it had a set of cams put in it. And I know it had a Bassani exhaust and a tune, and it was fairly wicked bike. One guy said, because I bought it from a guy, and then I got into the whole club style scene for a second there. Just I knew some guys, so they went to some meets and like, oh, I recognize that bike. Yeah, so and so had it. He did this and that to it. But it was a fun bike. It had the 15-inch Legends, not Legends. It had 15-inch shocks and had the +2 front end, so it was way jacked up, and it handled phenomenally. Like it was a good riding bike. But it was before I did any track stuff, so I didn't know how to really use it. But I tried, and it was fun. It would do wheelies down the road as long as you wanted to. It was a great bike, but crashed it. That was unfortunate. Wrapped it around a pole.
When you had that, that's when I got my first bike, which was a Sportster 1200, and literally new to, and we would go on a ride, right? And then he just immediately would turn it up to 12. I'm like, all right, here we go.
Splitting cars in traffic, going 100 mile an hour in places I shouldn't. It was rode like an absolute jackass.
But it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be left behind, or are you gonna figure it out? So
yeah.
So that's the way back.
That started the everlasting race. We still race today.
I guarantee it, right? Yeah. We all start, we get our first street bike, and we do exactly what you said, squidding on the street, right? Doing 100 mile an hour, riding wheelies, doing speeds we shouldn't be doing in places we shouldn't be doing them in, right? But I think that's also, part of the easy accessible, especially for new people getting into the sport, right? They're like, oh, they watch a race. Maybe they don't even watch any race. They watch YouTube and they see X, Y, and Z doing all this stuff. They're like, I can do that, right? Yeah. Back when I was growing up, we didn't have YouTube or any of that, right? We didn't even have cell phones. We had pagers. I'm giving away my age right now. Mama knows because Mama's in here right now, right? But hi, Mom. She says, I'm going to go on and get to her comment. She says, Michelle Grimm Brown says, proud mama here. Let's go, mama. It's nothing. Dude, listen, we've been there. But I think that's part of it's easy accessible. Anybody can go down there and go buy a used bike or a new bike, right? And buy you a jacket or gloves and get your GoPro, put it on there and go out there. Do the same shit you're seeing on YouTube. Is it fun? Of course it is. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying anybody should do it, but that's where I come from. That's where it started for me, right? And dude, let's just be honest. You throw a leg over two wheels right now, and you're going from here 4 stoplights down. Am I going to break the speed limit?
Yeah, as quick as you can.
No, we're definitely we're going to ride.
We're definitely not doing it. Absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, but it's and again, like you said, street Rossies. We were talking about before we went live on the podcast. We see them and we want to replicate them, and then we talk and we watch the races, maybe read a magazine, and we think we know everything, right? And then you finally show up, you do your first track day, maybe take your first proper school. You show up and you're like, I don't know anything, absolutely nothing.
Oh, dude, that's where the whole name of our race team comes from. Was my first track day, because he did it smart. He didn't invite anybody to do his first track day.
Yeah,
he did it like 2 hours away, and nobody knew until the day of.
So we went. So the very first experience we had with any track days, we showed up to an NCM event with Fastline Track Days. I rode my Supermoto, so I bought a brand new Husqvarna 701, factory fresh, rolled it straight off the showroom floor. Rode it around, got, I don't know, probably 800 miles on it of street riding, just riding like an absolute animal. And a buddy of mine at work said, you gotta go try out go look at Fastline Track Days. So I had already decided I was going to do a track day, but I knew they had one that weekend. So we rolled up there. We rolled up from his house. He lived in Portland, which was 35 minutes from NCM. So we rode some back roads and we're cutting up.
On my Sportster.
Yeah, on his Sportster, which it was a good handling bike. He had the suspension set up pretty good, and it was a stout little bike. But I was on my 701, which is just the phenomenal road bikes. We rode up there and just watching. We happened to have walked up to the advanced group riding, and it was the craziest experience you've ever seen. Like walking up to NCM, standing on the front straight just before the flag stand when these guys are doing 170 mile an hour on their 1000s, right before the braking zone, and then you hear them coming into turn one. It's just crazy. So we're just sitting there with our jaws on the floor. and we talked to Becky, she's one of the owners, and she just so nice, so inviting. They brought us into the coach's garage. We didn't know where we were going. We talked to the coaches, and they were like hardcore. Go get your go. They got a suit guy down there. They got gloves and boots and helmets and all the stuff. I'm like, I can't do it right now. But their next event was at Putnam in Indiana. So probably a month later, I did my first track day. I loaded my 701 in the bed of my truck. Brought my cooler and my ramp and my little Boxo set of tools, and threw it in the bed of the truck and rolled up there on Friday after work. I learned that track you can't camp overnight. And I don't think they even let you in on Friday before it opened. So I had to barely sleep on Friday night in my hotel, hoping my bike was still going to be there in the morning because I had no idea where I was. I had the key with me. That's never stopped anybody. But we roll up. It was raining that morning. Dude, it was like the most nervous I've ever been. Ryan with PFR Tires, he was there. He was nice enough to let me change because I didn't have a tent. I didn't have like a canopy. I didn't have nothing. I just had a bike, some tools, and a cooler full of water. Like praying that's all I needed, and it was not. So Becky actually let me borrow a tent. But before that, before tech even opened, or right after tech, I had the bike teched in. I was trying to get changed. Ryan let me change into my suit in his trailer because it was coming a flood. And everybody knows that all the novices, rain or shine, they're going to go out for the first session. So you can bet your ass. I went out for the first session. Pouring rain. There was not a dry spot on the track. The rain had stopped, but it was still just wet. But went out there, had a ball, played follow the leader, but I felt like I was getting held up like every novice does. I thought I was getting held up by the guys in front of me, but I knew the rules. You had to play follow the leader for the first session. And then the next session we went out, again, not going to miss a session on my first track day. Go out for the next session, just as fucking wet. But the same guy that I followed the first time was out there in front of me again. And as soon as the coach opened up passing, I go into turn one. I pass it up. We do a lap, follow the leader. They open it up down the front straight. I would go around him, go into turn one. And I don't remember the exact layout because I haven't been to Putnam since. I would love to go back. But Fastline doesn't go there. And I don't care to go with any other org because Fastline is the greatest. But I don't know if it's 3, 4, whatever. There's a right, and then there's another right, and then there's a left. Well, I ate shit in the left. I was just, giving her. I had my street tires, the factory tires on the 701. I wish I could pull them up. They were not rain tires. They were not rain tires at all. So immediately dumped it, bent my shifter. Again, second session, first track day ever. I'm like, oh man. But I wish I could remember the guy's name. He was pitted right next to me. He was so nice and so helpful. He had an R1. He helped me get the shifter squared back away. We kind of safety wired it because it was obviously it's a dirt bike shifter. So the actual toe peg has a spring on it. Spring broke. That thing was just flopping loose. So he helped me safety wire it so it was just solid, sticking straight out, which was just fine for me. I wasn't going fast enough to drag it and needed to bend anyways. But he helped me there. And then at the end of the day, by the session after lunch, they'd bumped me to I1, but my bike wasn't safety wired, so I couldn't move up. So that guy between sessions throughout the rest of the day, they let me stay in novice for the day. That guy between sessions would safety wire stuff as it would cool down enough. Yeah, he helped me safety wire my bike. So the next day I rode an I1, and it was so good. And the coaches were great. That track day I was in the hotel room right next to one of the coaches. His name's Jim Foreman. That guy was so nice. He was one of the nicest coaches. The way he explained stuff to me at the track, it just clicked. It just made perfect sense. The way he explained how to brake, how to trail brake, the understanding the lines. Because again, first track day ever, had no clue what I was walking into. I had done some Googling and stuff and watched some YouTube videos, but the way he kind of laid it out, you got to do A, B, and C. You got to focus on A, but you got to think about B and C at the same time. He was able to really convey it in such a way that it made perfect sense. And he put me onto the Ken Hill Racing podcast. And I swear by that podcast to this day. Anybody that'll listen, I'll tell them they need to listen to that because it explains how important the basics are and how you need to always go back to the basics, no matter how fast you are. Everybody still follows the exact same guidelines. They still approach it almost the exact same way. So it's that was super fun. But I remember Jim, when I very first rolled up, obviously they saw me back my truck into the little shitty motel with my bike in the bed and all my stuff in it. And they go, "You here for the race? You here for the track day this weekend?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "All right, I'm a coach." He said, "You ever been to a track day?" I go, "No." He goes, "You ride on the road?" I said, "Yeah." He said, you ride hard on the road?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "All right, we'll see." And I remind that guy every single day that he needs to eat a slice of humble pie, because I went out there, and I don't want to toot my own horn here, but again, it took me 2 track days to get to I-2. It took me 4 track days to get to the advanced group with Fastline, or 4 track weekends rather, and they pride themselves on, you're going to make sure you earn it. So
Fastline is by far the fastest one we've ever ridden with.
Yeah, I don't really want to name drop and call out other orgs, but I've gone from novice to advanced in almost every other organization. But I cut my teeth with Fastline. Those coaches, and that's why I'm so proud to be a coach myself now for Fastline, is because those guys, all the coaches, like, they're not just control riders. They go out and they know what they're talking about. It's not like you're going to pick a coach at random and ask him, "Why do you do this?" or "Where should I go here?" And they're going to go, "I don't know." Every one of them knows the track inside and out. They know where the line is. They know why you do what you do in each specific part of the track. Like, you're going to get solid answers and solid feedback from every single coach.
Well, and like too, for anybody, no matter who you are, rather than a few, you're not going to outpace Fastline, right? You ride in the advanced group with Fastline, Hayden Gillum shows up, JD Beach shows up. Like, they're always there. They're always riding with the best that there is. So it's incredible to even see those guys on the track.
Yeah,
100%, man. You know, I want to take it back just a minute, and then Dylon, we'll get into your experience for your first track day, right? For me, as for everybody, like you said it the best, bro. I showed up, dude, and I had no clue, none. I was just like you. I had a cooler full of water. I had no tent. I had tire warmers. What the hell's a tire warmer, right? I was like, because I remember for my first race, I did this school, did a little mock-up race, went the next day. They're like, I didn't pass tech, because they're like, "Dude, you got a safety wire." And I was like, "The fuck is safety wire? What are you talking about? What is this?" Right? They're like, "You didn't read the book, did you?" And I was like, "No, I didn't read the book." Right? Like, I didn't read the book. I ain't gonna lie. No, I didn't. He's like, "Well, you got a safety wire." But you know, I had a similar experience, man. You show up, people that's been there know you're a newbie. It's just the aura, the energy all over you, right? You just got that shit-eating grin, like, that's a new guy right there, hands down.
Yeah.
But I had the same thing. People were willing to help and jump in that never even met me before. It's like, "Dude, you need to do this." Same thing. Guy helped me safety wire. I'm like, "Show me how to do it. Pull out the drill bit, do this, safety wire pliers." And I was just in awe. I was like, "This is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. This is awesome," right? And then you go out there, you have fun. But that's what I love about our beautiful, I call it our beautiful circus, right? It's absolutely amazing. Big shout out to Chris and Becky Meyer, hands down, right? But the most important thing, and I see it, and I still see it, you know, people show up to their first track day, and you mentioned a good word, the humble pie, baby. It's so important when you guys and girls show up to your first track. You got to leave the ego out. Girls really don't have it, but you got to leave the ego out for us guys, right? If you see it, John, you see it. People come in with these egos, think they know everything, and it's we'll get into the whole coaching side, maybe bumping heads with the Rossi wannabes on the street, thinking they know everything, right? But I remember getting out there, and I seen this dude. I talked to him. He was way overweight, way more than me. He had an F2. I had a ZX6R at the time. I was like, "I'm going to smoke this dude," talking to myself. I got this guy, blah, blah. He was right in front of me on the grid. I got him. Bro, absolutely not, right? Again, another big – I look down at the tank. I'm like, shit, where'd this pie come from? But I'm going to eat it, right? I'm going to eat this pie, and I'm going to enjoy it because you learn from it. It's important to show up and be a sponge and soak in what the instructors, the coaches are telling you, because they want to see you succeed and go faster, right? And again, we'll get into the whole coaching side of things. It's absolutely amazing. So Dylon, for you, man, what was it like for your track day? Of course, you know, John showed up, didn't even tell nobody. So you was like, "Dude, what?" Pretty
much. And funny enough, he mentioned Jim. My first track bike I bought from Jim. It was Jim's old a Gixxer 750. So, and again, mind you, I had a stretch Gixxer at one point, but I had it for like 2 days. I had sold a car for it, and I ended up selling the bike because I knew I didn't need it, and I was going to kill myself on it. So sold that. But my first track bike was Jim's. Heard about him doing it. We saw it together and kind of made that pact. It's like, we're going to find a way to do this. We're doing this. So ended up getting the bike from Jim. And my first track day was at NCN. Let me tell you, that was the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life. And it's funny now because now it's my most comfortable track, right? But it's being on that bike and not understand. I didn't realize how big racetracks were. I did not do enough research before I showed up. Like I was out there, was like basically with the mindset, if he can do it, I can do it. You know, and you go out there, it's like, I don't think I got hardly off the bike at all. I've still got the pictures. I'm not going to show you.
Yeah, we
up and down like this, going on the corner.
Yeah, we enjoy those pictures a lot. It was
Of course.
But he was on a piss missile, so it's no. I mean, all I got to give a lot of credit. My first track bike, again, I did my first 2 or 3 track days on a Husqvarna 701. So I was 130 miles an hour at the very top, and I am a giant parasail on top of this thing, slowing it down. So he was on a 750 and letting her eat down the front straight. That might have been the only place, but it's a
parking it.
It's a
parking.
It was a very fast bike to do a 750 at that. Like it's got some oomph to it.
And I can say it now because we're on good terms now. Jim understands. He was upset when I sold it, understandably, but like it was no sorted bike. She had some shakes and some wobbles and some things. And it's like that doesn't help when you already think you're about to die. So it didn't last very long, but nonetheless, he was there. He didn't ride that weekend, but he was there.
I had just broken myself.
Yeah, it was after one of his crashes.
Yeah, so
it was after one of his crashes, but nonetheless, he was there.
Yeah. So we'll rewind a little bit.
Wait, but first, nonetheless, I went so slow that it was like, yeah, dude, you're literally an obstacle out there for these people. Like kind of joking. I wasn't literally, no. But that's what started obstacle racing.
Yeah. He was an obstacle on the racetrack for everybody else to go around. It was very funny. We were just ribbing each other, and it just stuck.
That's awesome. Watch out for the slowly moving orange cone out there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But no, you were broken. Why?
Yeah, so I was broken. I've had in the last 6 years, I've had every other year I will have some sort of career-ending injury. So in 2020, it was 21, 23, and 25. So in 21, I broke my right humerus, lacerated kidney, liver, lung, fractured my L5 vertebrae, broke 2 metatarsals on my foot. Was going down I-40 at an undisclosed rate of speed. There was allegedly there was nobody in front of me, and then all of a sudden there was somebody in front of me, and all the rest of the lanes were blocked. I had just crashed my Harley. That's why I was on this bike.
Like a week before.
Yeah, I had just totaled my Harley. Wrapped it around a telephone pole.
Wait, how did that happen?
Well,
bro, hold on, whoa. Yeah, we got to go back, bro. Yeah, how did this happen?
Well, all right. So I was riding around his house up in Portland in country bumpkin roads. There's nothing up there.
I think it's when I put the shocks on the back of my bike, and I'm like, come over, let's go do wheelies, basically.
Yeah. So doing wheelies and rolling burnouts, you know how the Harley stunt guys do, and that I had a pretty sweet lowrider S with a pretty an allegedly built twin cam, and it was stout. So you could sit up on the tank in second gear, dump the clutch, and just let her eat. You're doing rolling burnouts as long as you want. I had bought a new rear tire that was significantly grippier than the Dunlop that was on it. So it was it was not a good combination. So I had gotten the tire real hot. I had done a few rolling burnouts, and then I had sat up in the middle of a turn. I was gonna. Oh, that's sweet. I was.
Hang on. What would you say? No. No, I got to get gas. Actually, that is. Thanks for reminding me. They want to go out there right there. I have no gas.
Oh no,
dude! I didn't fill it up, man. So anyway, that was my boy. He always busts in on the podcast. Says hi or has to tell me something. So anyway,
that's all good. But yeah, so got the tire nice and hot and sticky. So went to start another rolling burnout, kind of drift around this little bend in the road. and there was a little gravel on the road, and the rear tire hooked up, and it pushed the front end, and I jumped a culvert where a driveway was, and I just could not seem to land, like keep it upright. It was left and right, and I made contact with the pole. Just couldn't have hit it any more center. But I was leaned over just a little bit because I was coming, like, kind of banking a road ditch in this turn, and I somehow landed like on my hands and feet in front of the bike, and the front tire of the bike was folded under the frame. The forks were just pretzels. I fit the frame according to the insurance agent. I didn't see the frame all that bad, but it was definitely bad. It was twisted up. So I folded that, but I was completely unscathed. Could not believe it. So I totaled that bike.
Chalked it up as what? Unfortunate.
Yeah. I totaled that bike. Wait a second. That was after the ZX10 crash.
The ZX10 was the first one.
Yeah, the ZX10 crash was the first one. Oh, I had crashed it doing a very similar thing in a massive parking lot, a rolling burnout. It's when I crashed it in the parking lot and blew the main fuse, and I couldn't figure it out. So I took the bike to my buddy's house.
The tip sensor or whatever.
Yeah, the tip sensor went off. It also, but he couldn't. We thought that it was a tip sensor, but it blew the main fuse as well. That's what. Really? Yeah, I took it to my buddy David's house, and he fixed it for me. But yeah, it was. I didn't have the Harley at the time. I had it, but it wasn't running right. So I was borrowing his ZX10 that I had bought and sold to my dad years and years ago. It sat in the barn forever. I had no business riding the ZX10. Absolutely none. But I didn't have a car at the time. It was my daily. I was riding it from east of Nashville, 30 minutes east of Nashville to 30 minutes west of Nashville. So it was over an hour each way to work running an excavator. I was just an operator at the time. And oh, dude, I was riding it like an absolute animal because at 5 a.m. on a beautiful summer day, it's just it's barely light out, but yeah, just holding her wide. Allegedly I saw 190 something indicated on the bike. I saw 170 indicated on the bike almost daily, but one of the highest I saw was 190. And again, this is all
allegedly, right, dude? But there's nothing like getting up in the morning, 6 a.m. Nobody's out, dude. This is the best wake up you could ever get in your life. Just like I'm awake.
Yeah. I rode that bike for like a week, and then I was taking it back to him.
Literally on the way.
Yeah, back. I was on the way to drop it back off to his house, and then my wife was behind me. She's my girlfriend at the time, but she's my now wife, Shelby. Shout out to her for showing up to that scene. But yeah, smacked a car. I was rolling back. I just put fuel in it. It wasn't running right, so I figured, oh well, let me just give her. The battery had died on the way home, so at the time I was doing earthwork, and then I would clock out at the end of the day on Friday, and I'd clock in and go work security at a bar downtown in Nashville. And I'd work from, if I clocked out at 5 o'clock at work, at 5:30 I'd be at the bar, and I'd close it down at 3:30 in the morning. So I was tired. But the bike died on me on the way home. Apparently there's a stator problem on those 2009 ZX10s. There's always electric problems with those. So it died on me. I got to jump off the next morning to take it back to him because my wife was going to bring me to work. And I stopped to get gas, got it to start back, and just giving her hell down the interstate. It was fairly clear roads, but allegedly 190 mile an hour indicated on the bike. I don't know. It had some different different sprockets on it, so I don't know how fast it was really going, but it was up there. And yeah, I'm rolling in the fast lane. There's some people in the fast lane, so I see way ahead of me, but I'm approaching them quickly. Get in the second lane. There's nobody there, but the person in the fast lane gets over to go around the person in front of them. So now 1, 2, and 3 are all blocked, and I'm coming off that Harley. I go to grab a handful of brakes, but I had slowed down at that point, but I'm still 140, 130. Grab you a handful of brakes, and you're not actually prepared for what it's about to do. It bucked me clean off of it. So I hit the car in front of me, broke my arm.
Went over into it.
Yeah, I went over it. I got some scuffs and scars on my stomach from the windshield of the bike, and I've got this like peace sign scar in my right thigh where the clip-on
went into his thigh.
Yeah, punctured me.
That was crazy.
So,
I watched him stitch it up at the hospital.
yeah, that was
But
a
like
rough
you could
one.
see inside of his leg. It was wild.
Yeah. So I laid there on the interstate with my arm folded backwards. So I've got a bunch of scars. You can't really see it on the screen, but I got a bunch of scars on the top of my forearm and on the outside of my tricep here. But where it was broken right here, it was all folded over, and I kind of slid down the road like that. I was awake the entire time. I felt myself and tumble down the road and watched the bike to do in a ball of flames. I was awake for the entire thing until I got to the hospital and they put me under for surgery. I was awake. Like, it's full of adrenaline. You're going that fast, you crash. You're not just going to go out.
Once you stop sliding, this is what the people that called me were like, yeah, you stood back up.
Yeah, I did stand back up, but my foot was broken, and I knew that. If anybody's ever broken a metatarsal in their foot, you know that's broken immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. He spoke to deer last year and immediately knew that metatarsal was broken in your foot.
Yeah, broken foot's a different one.
Yeah, I stood up and kind of tried to drag myself off the road, and I had passed a group of bikers at a high rate of speed. They just happened to catch up to me as I was coming to a stop on my skin. And they get down. They called the ambulance. I actually have a video of it where somebody was live recording the whole thing. So I've got a video of me laying, arm broken. He walks up, and I can give him knuckles. I'm like, all right, we're all good. But yeah, so that was the first incident.
That was a crazy one.
That was before any track day. That was just me being a dude on a bike that had no business being on, just being a jackass. And
He handled it well, though. He didn't like freak out or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, once he was in the ambulance, just kind of trying to make light of it. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to follow the ambulance. I'll see you at the hospital. Don't die in here. Like, just joking. Apparently, you can't say that in an ambulance. They didn't like that.
I bet. They're like, get him out of here.
Whoa. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, because I had lacerated a bunch of things. There was some internal bleeds and shit that were happening. I got very lucky. A lot of the stuff had kind of stopped by the time I got to the hospital because we went from Mount Juliet almost to Lebanon on 40. And if anybody's from around here, you kind of know where that's at. To Vanderbilt, downtown in Nashville. In Vanderbilt, if you're going to die, that's the place to go. They are going to make you not die. They are the shit. They saved my life twice. So I crash. I don't ride bikes for a significant amount of time after that. I get my Harley back, and I ride it around, and I total that thing completely unscathed. After, again, I got metal plates in me. I had rods in my foot that got pulled out. Like, I crashed this Harley. I completely unscathed. I could not imagine like it was going to happen like that. So then I don't have a bike for quite some time, and I thought it's for the greater good. I probably shouldn't have a bike. And then I get the itch again. So I got some change in my pocket. I'm doing good at work. I got some money saved up. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go buy me a supermoto, and I'm not going to ride on the interstate because in my stupid head, the interstate's what the problem was. It wasn't me. It was the interstate.
It's always that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you crash on a back road, just the same.
That's right.
Yeah. So get the supermoto, have a ball, ride with him on his Harley. He's still got his same Harley, and it's at this point, I'm pretty sure it was wicked up by then. You had done the heads and the cam, and yeah. I mean, for a Sportster, it was legit. It was pretty damn fast. I bought him a Thunder Max auto tune ECU, and we flashed a pretty close program, and it adjusted itself. So, I mean, it was a fairly legit bike. So it was faster than my 701 in a straight line, but the 701 was a wheelie monster. So just had so much fun. I was never able to balance a wheelie on that rear brake. I'm never good at it. But that 701, just using the throttle, because that big single, it had enough engine brake in it. You could wow, and just kind of have your foot on the brake just to be safe, but never used it. It was just such a fun hooligan bike. But so I do the track day. I do some track days. I think I had done one at Putnam and then one at PTC down in Lynchburg. That's a fun track. If you ever get the chance.
Just enough to feel fast. Yeah.
Yeah. If you ever get the chance to ride at PTC, that's a fun track. And then I did one at NCM on the Husqvarna, and then that's when I got bumped to their I2 group, and I was fairly quick on that supermoto. It's just the track stuff clicked. The coaches were all great. So then I do what every stupid idiot does, and I take what I learned on the track and I translate it directly to the roads. Shouldn't have done that. So I'm riding around way too fast. I'm doing wheelies, doing stoppies.
Thinking you're more safe, right? Yeah.
I know how to control this thing, and I'm sure there was a lot of situations where I put myself in a bad situation, but I also saved it with what I learned on the racetrack. I'm riding home from my mother-in-law's house. We did some lunch on a Sunday afternoon. I had work the next morning, so I'm like, I'm going to go home, get showered, go to bed, whatever. Riding home, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. I turn onto this road. It's kind of an uphill turn. I make the light. I turn up this hill, and there's a car way in front of me, but I'm not too concerned with it. Fucking whack it, stand it up, fucking first, second, third, and on the back tire. And this guy in front of me is turning right into this Aldi, this parking lot. There's a big concrete entrance, and there's a ditch on one side and a ditch on the other side. These things didn't click to me until it was too late. I see him start to turn, and he just stops. There must have been somebody else. I was looking at him. I was using my eyes. I saw he was turning in the parking lot, so it was going to, you anticipate somebody when they're turning in front of you. You don't come all the way to a stop. You just kind of let off a little bit in your car. Well, I let down the wheelie, but not soon enough. He's just parked it. I grabbed a handful of brakes. I hit the car in the rear quarter. I got some scars on my chest from that one where the window, I went through the window with my head.
Put his head through the back little triangle window.
Upper body went through the window. I broke this forearm. So this, the handguard, the factory handguard on those has it's a metal handguard with a plastic on it. Folded this arm back to my elbow. Broke my left femur, like clean in half. And I'm sure there was some other things, but those are the big ones. Breaking the wrist, breaking the femur, no good.
Probably a concussion.
Yeah, definitely a concussion. That one I was awake, but I was not there. I vaguely remember coming to, but I was already sitting upright, mumbling something. But I remember feeling my femur floating around inside my leg, trying to move, and then everybody keeps saying stay still, and then same thing with the forearm. You go to move your hand, and it doesn't move. You get scared.
Yeah. A doctor's the one that took his phone and called me. And was like, hey, this just happened, and told me where it was. And I was like, all right, is he all right? He's like, yeah, he's okay. He's just got some broken bones. I was like, all right, send me the address. So while he's on his way to the hospital, I got to go and pick the bike up and then go to the hospital.
Yeah, same thing with that one. Front tire touching the header. The trellis frame on those 701s, they don't have like aluminum frames like
steel. Yeah,
it's got that trellis steel frame, and it broke. It pulled welds apart and folded other parts of it underneath. So the forks totally fine. The front wheel totally fine. It literally broke the frame where it bent. Still got the bike. Still have the ZX10 too. It's a pile of ash behind my dad's barn. He had to go get that bike as well. But it sat in the impound lot, so he had to pay. How much?
Yeah, they hauled this pile of scrap metal. That's all that was left. Even when I showed up, it was still a ball of fire. All the ambulances were there, but no fire trucks. So just the rest of I have a little video of it. The rest of the bike is just melting to pieces. And he's over here like Peter Gryffindor laying in a puddle of his own blood. It was crazy. But yeah, they took this pile of motor and took it to the impound lot. It was like $250 or $260 for like 2 days.
Yeah.
I was like, why'd you even haul it here?
For $20 with scrap
Throw
aluminum.
it in a dumpster. Come on. Like, what are you going to do with this?
I'd be like, just keep it.
Yeah.
Just keep it, right? Yeah. Dude, I just want to touch base on the Supermoto real quick. I've had my fair share. Best bikes in the world. Most fun you're ever going to have, dude. But they are they make you want to do dumb stuff all the time, right? Like me, I was the type of guy, I'm sitting at a stoplight, I'm looking around, I'm like, there's a sidewalk right there. Let me get out, let me get on the sidewalk, let me ride a little wheelie real quick, honk the horn, flip a couple people off, and get to it, right? Like, so much fun. The last Supermoto I had was the Aprilia SXV 550. And
dude,
man,
I heard those are the one to have.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, it was a monster. Absolute missile, dude. It was so much fun. 180 55 rear tire, tubeless, dude, 120/70 front, dude. Bro, it was.
Those are V twins, aren't they?
Yeah, V twin, dude. But the downfall is they every 2,500 miles you got to adjust the valves, but you got to physically pull the motor out to do it. like 4,800 miles. You had to do the buckets, the retainers, and there was another part you had to do at like 10,000 miles. You had to do a complete rebuild of the motor, and it was like $500 for the full kit. When they first released them, they used orange sealant on them, and the sealant would go bad, so it would blow head gaskets all the time. They did a major recall. They fixed all the stuff with what they called the black sealant, which is one that I bought. And I remember the first time I got on that thing, I was like, I heard so much shit about this, right? And I'm coming from a DRZ 400 SM, mind you, right? So I'm like, this thing can't be. I mean, I hear this, I hear that. I get on there, I twist the throttle. I was like, holy shit, dude, I love it. Let's go, right? Yeah. Got in trouble a lot on that thing, needless to say. But I found myself working on it more than riding it, just because it was just so high maintenance. I mean, it wouldn't start sometimes. It was just, but dude, she was beautiful. She was fun. You talking about wheelies, dude, a fourth gear, bro, insane. Absolutely insane missile. But yeah. Supermotos, people. Supermotos.
So yeah, I broke myself that second time after learning how to ride on the track, and then I came back. I had bought a Super Duke, a 1290R Super Duke, a Gen 3. I think it was a 21. Brother,
a monster again.
Ball game. I had an 11. I had a Buell 1125 that I rode at for that track day before I broke myself. So I had it, and then I ended up selling it to my dad. But I rode that Super Duke the next season because I obviously broke my femur, broke my forearm, finished that season out. That's when he did his first track day, was the last event of that season. Mm-hmm. So then the next year, my dad and we went to PTC again for that. I rode my Super Duke, and he rode the Buell XB9. Completely different. That's one of the days I went from novice to their advanced group with that organization, because the Super Duke was just a monster, and it was bone stock street bike, like street tires. I think it was like Michelin. I don't know. It was Michelin Power 5
or something on it.
Yeah. Just some road tires. They were not hyper sport tires. They were not track like DOTs. They were legit road tires and stock brake pads. It had a slip-on exhaust, so it was ignorantly loud, but it was no faster than a stock bike. But those stock bikes are fast, son. And it had a quick shifter and an auto blipper, and that changed the game. That made a huge difference. The 701 had one, but it kind of sucked. So you had to clutch downshifting anyways. But the quick shifter and the auto blip on that Super Duke were a game changer. Went to fast line, was running like 203s on that thing at NCM, just having a ball. And then sold that, did a few track days on it, ended up selling it, got an S1000, because the most fun, the best thing every new rider needs to do is immediately go to a 1000 as fast as they can. So that's what I did. I saw an S1000, fell in love with it. I got one, and holy crap, are those good bikes. That bike, it made up for everything that I couldn't do. And I went fast on it, like legit fast. It was so confidence inspiring. The traction control was so good. The auto blip, the quick shift. I had the ABS turned off, but I still had the factory ABS pump. And from what I understand on the BMWs, when you apply front brake, it also applies a little bit of rear brake while you're applying the front brake through the factory ABS pump. And it helped the bike turn in so much better. The guy I bought it from had it kind of set up. He was about the same weight as me when he rode it. So I didn't touch the suspension. I didn't touch anything. I just put gas in it. Did one oil change in the 8 track days I rode it. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I mean, it just took it and ate it. But
awesome.
It was super fun. I see Trevor commenting a lot. I have pictures riding with him when I was on the S1000, and he definitely humbled me quite a bit. But that bike was fast. I may not have been that fast. That bike was fast, because I remember coming onto the front straight, I could pull on him on his CBR. He had an SP2 CBR 1000, and it was a legit bike. It was his moto. He raced at Moto America, so he was fast on it. But yeah, it was, that S1000 was dumb fast. But getting into the advanced group was really fun, because I was riding in I2 and on the S1000. and there was a bunch of coaches that went out and they said, go get with this coach. So I get with the coach before the session. We take off. I pull away from him. I go, all right, what do you think? They go, I don't know. I lost you after turn 3. And I go to the next coach. The same thing. How did I do? I don't know. I lost you after turn 5. Like, we're not going to bump you until we see how you ride. And I vividly remember coming into turn 1A, and I see Trevor sitting at pit out, sitting there at the end waiting. And I'm like, that's weird. This is I2. What's he doing? And I come through 1A into 1B, and I start opening it up on the way to 2, and he takes off. I go, oh, he's here for me. And I remember him following me. It was just I was riding as fast as I could, as best I could. And I do a few laps, and then he follows me. And then I get tired. I throw my hand up. I knew it was towards the end of the session. And he comes into 16. He comes around on the inside of me and gives me a tail tap and waves me on to follow him. So I put my hand down, the one thing I know you're not supposed to do. I'm like, all right, if he tells me I got to do it, I'm going to do it. And we come out, and I'm so excited to follow him. We get onto the front straight, and I miss a shift. I've never missed a shift on that bike. And some other dude that was hauling ass passes me. And I'm stuck behind this guy. And I'm not fast enough to be able to pass this guy easily because he's moving pretty good. He's following me and Trevor. So Trevor's leading. I'm stuck behind this guy. And we go out. And I didn't get a good look on Trevor because he pulls away from this guy on a 600. But I wasn't fast enough to set up a pass in a good spot to get around him on a straightaway. But yeah, we come in, and he was like, you're way too fast for this group. You got to go out with advance and follow him around. That's how I got my advance bump. They sent Trevor out after me, so that was really fun.
Really fun. Trevor.
Always Trevor.
Yeah, dude, Trevor's absolutely amazing. Big shout out to Trevor Watson and his family, dude. It's an honor to call him a friend for sure. I always love seeing him. Moto America. I remember I was doing a lollipop gig at Mid Ohio, I think, Trevor, if I'm not mistaken, and he was on my lollipop sign right there on my grid, and I was giving fist pounds. Let's go, Trevor. Let's go. Right. Yeah. It's very cool. As a matter of fact, I sent him a picture out here. I was at the mall, and he remembers, I sent him a picture. They actually had him on his bike on a t-shirt.
Yeah. I was going to bring it up.
Dude, bro, at my mall, so I sent him a picture. I was like, bro, check this out. I was going to buy it, but dude, I wear a large. It was like a double XL, right? I was like, I'm not spending $25 on a shirt I'm never going to wear, right? Like, I'm just not going to do it. But I just thought that was super cool, man. I'm friends with this guy that I've had on my podcast several times. He's a Moto America dude. We become really good friends. And I'm at the mall, and I look up, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now. Like, this is awesome, dude. It's super cool, man. I actually want to get to a couple of these comments real quick because they keep flooding in. I'm gonna start at the top real quick. Royce Davis says, what's up, guys? What's up, my man? Of course, the paddock. Big shout out to the paddock. He says, well, where were you in New York to fix some support beams? LOL. What's up, guys? What's up, buddy? Jake Marsh. What's up, Jake? Jake's a mate of mine all the way out from the UK. He races in a series called the Bemise series. I always murder that. They always laugh at me in the UK because I say shit backwards or wrong all the time, right? But yeah, big shout out to Jake Marsh. And then the paddock says Sportster 1200 full open will change your life. Good bike.
Yeah,
that's right. Absolutely. And then Royce Davis says, it's wild, my first track day. Dude, it's always wild on everybody's first track day again, because you don't know what to expect. You have no idea. None, right? Even all the way up to like your third track day, like you kind of start to understand and get it, right? And then yeah. The paddock says first track day, very humbling. Everyone is awesome and very helpful. 100%. And then he says, everyone is fast until a 300 smokes you in a corner. Again, that humble pie, and that just brings up, you said it, John, what everybody wants to do. I got to have the 1,000. I got to have the $10,000 exhaust. I got to have this. I got to have that bling factor. I got to look the part, right? But you're not playing the part, smaller bikes. Got to start on the smaller bikes. Outride that, right? I feel like, dude, at the club races, if you're not regularly in the top 3 winning the races, you have no business in Moto America, right? You got to be up there in that fast to make that next step. It's just like, well, for you, John, it's you're the oddball out on this, but for me, you got to start at the beginner and then go to the novice and then blah blah blah, work your way up. Kind of a slowly pace, right? You got to crawl before you can walk and walk before you can run. And then we got Luke. Well, he says, "What's up? What's up, Luke? Do you guys know who Luke is?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luke's our buddy. Yeah, we actually went with him. He just bought his first track bike from a guy down here. So I found it online one morning. I was scrolling on Facebook when I was supposed to be working, and I see this bike for a dumb price. I'm like, bro, you got to go buy this bike.
Man, we're all in the group chat. Like, if you don't want it, I'll get it. It was one of those, like, that's a deal. We need that bike.
And he blew this person up. It was some dude with more money than he could handle, and his wife had posted it. She wasn't responding to anybody, and he like kept blowing him up. Like, look, I want this bike. It was a 2006 R6 full Olin suspension, some pipe on it. It turns out the pipe was junk. We once we got the bike home and started taking it apart with him, it had been crashed a lot. It had a rough life in its years, but it's been sitting since 2008 in this dude's climate controlled garage with his Porsches and his Ferraris. So when
It seemed like a sketchy good deal online, but when we showed up and it's like Porsche, Ferrari, it's like, all right, this really is just in his way.
yeah.
So we'll take that off your hands. Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Luke got it because we all have. I've got a bike and a spare and another spare, and he's got a bike and a spare, and our buddy Wyatt has a bike and he uses our spares if he needs it, and he's got a few spares of his own. We've all got more than enough bikes, but it was too good of a deal. I'm like, look, bro, you got to, if you're going to get into this, this is the bike.
I love it, dude. Yeah, everybody's on the R6 now. Well, there's a lot of club racers on R6. I'll put it to you that way. 110%. I mean, it's a proven bike.
Yeah, there's so much R&D into it. Like, the guys know their setups. If you can talk to one of the Moto America teams, like we've talked with Turn One Racing. They come to Fast Lines events and they set up suspension. They have I don't know if they sell Dunlop tires, but they usually have a giant freaking stack of them. We run Pirellis, so it doesn't really matter for us. But like, those guys, they've been super helpful with us in our R6s because they know the platform. That's what they run. Mm-hmm. But they are, yeah. If you can find somebody with an R6 that's pretty well set up, you just kind of mimic what they've got. You're gonna have a fast bike.
And that's still even like not even just your first track day. Anybody at the track, like, we're all there for the same common goal of motorcycles are awesome. So 9 times out of 10, if somebody's got something, they're going to help you with it. If you crash and they happen to have a spare rear set, they're going to be like, here, just give me one back. Like this, it's all for one. And that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a beautiful circus to be in, for sure, right? And you meet the most amazing people in the world, like Trevor, right? Let's just be honest, or allegedly. No, I'm just playing, Trevor. Love you, for real. I love this comment. I was laughing when he posted it. He said, "These two dorks." That's awesome. Oh my God, dude. Yes, Trevor, Mid-Ohio. Yep, absolutely. Then we got Robert Maxwell. What is up, Robert? He says, "Hell yeah, boys, let's go." Then we got Dean Kelston. What is up, man? Hey, Chris, what is up, man? His son, Brendan Kelston, races in Moto America now. He's mopped it up out there in California for years. He says, MA at Laguna this weekend. Go BK 144. Fully agree. Small bikes. Teaches corner speed. Yes, let's go, Brendan. Have you guys met Brendan Kelston yet?
If we have, I can't remember. We meet a lot of people at the races we go to, so it's hard to keep everybody straight.
Were you guys at Barber for MA this year?
No, sir. Unfortunately, I've never been to a Moto America event. I actually talked to Trevor about it. I asked him,
What?
Well, between work, so I work. My work schedule is ridiculous. We work 70 hours a week most of the time with the weather. So I have to really, really make sure that I can get off work and go to my own racing, much less go to a Moto America race. So rarely does it line up where I'm off work and there's a Moto America event that's going on and I'm not racing. So all those things have to line up just right. But the goal is this year, and I talked to Trevor about it last year a little bit. If he'd be willing to have at least me, I don't know if Dylan will want to go or not, but have me in his pit to help him do something with the bike. Like, as much as I'd love to go watch a Moto America event, I want to be there and be helpful. I want to do something because I love the bikes, and the goal for me is to make it to Moto America in the next 2 years, like make a round. That would be like ultimate goal, is like make it qualify. Because I know at Barber and Road Atlanta, I'm pretty comfortable with those tracks. We've raced on them enough at this point. I feel confident I could qualify if I had a competent bike, but that's just it. It turns into a dollar thing at that point. And obviously we have to make a full season of expert racing and get enough points to get the license and all.
100%, man. It's 100 points too, I think, if I'm not mistaken, to get your MA license. Yeah, you know, and stepping up to Moto America is a different ball game, right? It's a whole new world. It's not as relaxed as club racing for sure, right? It's like military style ran. You got certain times you can change your tires, you know, and all that, yada yada yada. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing, man. You two absolutely need to one day make it to Moto America round. It's a lot of fun, and you know, you got a lot of friends there, so just go out and hang out and have a couple beers and enjoy the racing. Absolutely. So Dylon, man, you know, you're racing too, and do you have an R6 right now?
I do.
Is that the bike? So everybody's got, and that's another beautiful thing about R6. You got R6. Again, it's a race proven. It's fast. It's light. It's nimble. It handles good right out the box. And there's a billion parts out there, flooded the market with them. So you can get anything you want.
Well, and they're so sorted and they're so easy to get sorted for the track. I mean, like we got to a point where at one point, what, a year ago, 2 years ago, we were either breaking, crashing, or blowing up a bike a week. It's like, all right, this is not sustainable.
Yeah, had a rough stint there.
The more you look around, you're like, that R6, he's crashed that thing 6 times and it's going strong. Yeah, like we need one of those. So it's like just one thing leads to another. And he had gotten an R6 pretty set up. I'm like, I got to get one of those, you know, because I went from a Buell 1125. I had a Sportster that was set up like an XR 1200 at one point that I tracked. And then
it was actually a Super Hooligan bike. It raced in the Super Hooligan series. Cody Melton raced.
Yeah, Cody Melton's old Sportster. That thing is awesome, but blew it up. Did too much to it. Now it's like if I crash it, it costs too much. So I'm afraid to ride it on the track because I want to go all the way, you know.
Yeah, that bike's more of a museum piece now than anything. Beautiful paint, wild motor build. It sounds like a Vance and Hines, one of the factory Vance and Hines fucking moto King of the Baggers bikes. It is just wicked sounding, especially for a 1275cc Sportster. But it's got big ported heads, super high compression piston, runs on race fuel. It is ridiculous.
You have to send me a picture of it.
Oh yeah. I'd love to.
Yeah. I feel the same way about my RC51. It's like, dude, I want to take it to the track so bad, but then I'm like, bro, I don't want to because if I crash it, I'm gonna be like, I might as well commit suicide, right? Like,
it's like, dude, that was one of my first one of the biggest projects I've ever done as far as like build a toy. You know what I mean? So I put so much time and money into it, just enough that it's like, if I did crash it, dude, I know myself. I'm not gonna put that same amount of effort into it again. So like right now is as good as it's ever going to be because I know if I crash it, it's just kind of going to get piled up. I'm going to go on to something new. So it's like I need to leave it while it's still the way it is. Just look at it.
But it won't end up like the ZX10 behind the barn, right?
No, that's the goal. It's too nice. It's almost a shame that it sits still now, but it's so nice. Again, it needs to be pickled and put in some rich dude's front foyer or something. Like it's a beautiful looking bike. Had a paint job done and it was phenomenal. Like it looks good. The motor is brand new cases. Everything's polished up. Wheels polished. Like it is big 16.5-inch Olin shocks on the back and a sweet, what brand is that tail section? I think it's a Saddleman. I think it's a Saddleman tail section, a custom subframe. Like it is so sick. It looks like one of the Super Hooligan Pan Americas, but with a stupid air-cooled Sportster motor. Yeah. It's so cool.
But between that, the Buell 1125, and just always bouncing around bikes because I'm always breaking something, we saw the R6 and it's like, all right, that's the direction we're going. So what we spent this year is the first year we've been consistently on them because even last year we rode the EBRs.
Yeah, I had an EBR 1190. Did some
nice bike.
Yeah, they're cool. I rode Atlanta, and I feel that's why I feel so confident around that track because that thing they made like 185 horsepower to the crank, so God knows what they made to the rear wheel. And mine had a tune and a pipe and an air filter, and I was mid-pack with the experts coming from the back of the novice grid because it was my first 1,000 race, and that thing Road Atlanta is such a long back straight. I was losing so much time, but those EBRs are so good, and that perimeter front rotor you can brake on the side of the tire so hard. You have so much feel through that lever. Like you could go through the S's and just screaming. You could come into 10 and just, I mean, it feels like you're waiting till the 3 board to brake. You're not. It's very, very scary. Even at the freaking top of the hill, just past the little hump. Did you happen to see the video of the guy that was braking a little bit too early and tucked the front and slid all the way down the hill? Yeah, he slid directly past me.
We were both in that race.
Yeah, he was right behind it, watched it happen. Our buddy took the video that was right next to it. There was one guy up on the bridge that got a video of it coming straight on towards him. That was a wild video to see. You can see how close it was. But yeah, it was bro, it was scary. I remember braking because it was the first lap. I remember braking into that turn going, what's that noise? Is my bike broken? And I was trying to kind of set up a pass, and then I veered back right to square up 10 into 11 and get a good drive into 12. And I remember hearing this noise, and I scooted over, and a bike comes flying past me. I mean, I don't know how close it was. It felt like it was inches. It might have been a foot at most. It was crazy. It was that was a wild. So what was funny, that rattled me. That was the only race that I didn't get first place in that weekend. I got third place because I missed the turn, dumped it in the gravel in 12.
Well, everybody else saw that happen. So, like, of the pack, 3/4 of them just pulled off assuming they were going to throw a red flag. But they didn't throw a red flag for some odd reason. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to keep going. I go over the hill. He's in the runoff in the gravel.
Way in the gravel because I missed the turn by a country mile. I'm telling you, I was rattled. I just watched a dude, unsure if he was going to be responsive or not, slide past me just like a corpse. I'm like, oh, no, like ragdoll. Because his bike hit another bike right in front of me, and I had to navigate that. And that's what messed me up. I had to come to almost a complete stop and go around it coming up the hill, missed my brake marker, had no idea my speed relative to my position on the track, just lost, dumped it in the gravel. He comes flying by me. Another guy comes flying by, but everybody that was behind me, they went into the pits. They thought it was going to be red flag, so they just went right in the pit because we was in turn 10. So they just pitted out right then and there. Well, I crashed the bike, and I go, surely they're going to red flag this. But I still hustle, pick the bike up, carry 500 pounds of gravel back onto the track with me, make my lap, belly pan flopping in the wind, make my lap, go back in, get retech'd, go back out. The experts had made their way back around for their third lap as I was finishing my second lap coming out of the pits after my retech. So I stayed, and that's probably what helped me gain so much speed in that race is I was literally put back onto track in the middle of the expert field fighting each other. Like there was 10 guys in 10 feet. It was the craziest shit ever. So I was dicing it up back and forth with some of those guys and watching them, and they helped me gain a lot of speed in that race. But I would come in, and I'm like, there's no way. The whole expert field lapped me. I'm behind every single novice. I got third place in that race because everybody else pitted out. I just had to finish the race. I got third place, and then I got first for the rest of them.
That's awesome, man. That's a crazy story. You know how, and you know, you going back to saying it messed you up mentally, and we all know how mental racing is in general, right? And when you have something like that happen, how do you bounce back from that, push it somewhere to where you can just go out there and have fun? Because that's what it's about, having fun. If you're out there and you're not having fun, you're not going fast, you're tense, you're not doing what you need to do to be relaxed, right? To have fun. It's that's scary, man. Absolutely scary, for sure. Especially at Road Atlanta, it's such a fast back straight. I mean,
I know.
It's insane. Yeah. Absolutely insane. So R6s, you guys are racing. I seen the video. You was out there with my boy Chris Durbin not too long ago, wasn't you?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he rides with Fastline as well. He shows up and reminds the advanced group that they're not that fast every time he shows up. Yeah, he's legit fast.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's really cool. It's really cool being able to watch him because I've been riding on the track now for 3 years now, and he's been there the whole time, and like you can see him progressively getting faster as well. And as his Moto America setup gets more and more legit, and as he starts to mess with software and tuning on the bike, and you can like watch what he makes changes and where he gets faster. It's really cool to watch him, and he's a super nice guy. He's really nice guy.
I love him and his dad, Doug, dude. So me and Doug got similar electric scooters, right? So I pulled up into him at VIR. I was like, you trying to race that POS you got? My shit's faster than yours. So we go out there and line them up. Of course I won, right? But We're gonna race. So the last time I seen him, he said, I did a software update on my scooter. I was like, I'm gonna put that to the test next time I see you, right? So we got another race lined up. We're gonna do. Yeah, awesome, man. Again, it's the beautiful circus with the beautiful people you meet, the most amazing. And it's cool to show up and become friends with people and then watch them progressively just get so fast and so fast. And you're like, even though you're a coach and you ride both you guys, it still blows your mind at the same time, right? It's like, holy shit. So
Yeah.
I want to talk about coaching real quick, man. How did you, and Dylon, do you coach too as well? Or is that something you want to get into?
I'm definitely looking to get into it. We're kind of in the talks of it, but I don't yet.
Well, we'll make that happen, right? But John, tell us about coaching, man. Like how did the whole coaching thing go? And then do you get the same satisfaction as being a coach versus you being a rider and going out there and win?
So, yes, absolutely. After riding at the track, I had gotten my way to the advanced group and working my way through riding in the advanced group. Like it's fun. But you kind of get to a point where like it was easier for me because my dad and my brother both ride on the racetrack. So I would go and talk to Becky and Chris and go, hey, is it all right if I go down to ride with my brother for this last session of the day? Or, hey, can I go bump down and ride with my dad? Or when they both got into the same group, into the intermediate 2 group, I would bump down. And we have this iconic picture of all 3 of us laid over into 1B. It's me and Dylon and our dad, all 3 of us laid over right on top of the apex. It's the best picture I've ever had. But I had so much fun moving down and riding with them. And at that point I was comfortable enough at pace, I could turn around and look at whoever I'm riding with, and I knew where I was at on the track, so I could mess with them a little bit and like pass them in areas that they don't expect the pass to happen. So I enjoyed doing that, and I kind of talked about it with Chris and Becky before, like when I was doing that, but it was kind of kick rocks. It wasn't kick rocks, but it was like, no, not really. But as I had started racing, I was still a novice racer. But after the first couple of races, the first year I raced, I guess it'd be last year. After the first couple of races last year, I talked to them like, hey, look, I'm racing, I'm doing pretty good, but is there an opportunity for me to come in and help coach? Like, I think it was a wet weekend. They didn't have a lot of coaches that weekend. It was raining. It was actually my first time on full reins, but it was, we had a ball. I had a ball on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday, they're like, yeah, we'll let you coach. You got to go out and coach novice. So I went out and coached novice, and I had a blast. Again, novice guys, they don't care if it's raining or not. They signed up. They're going to go ride. And I was on full reins. I'm like, absolutely, we're going to go ride. So it was a perfect first day coaching in novice because there was only half the day of actual structured groups. They ended up putting 2 groups. There was 30 minutes for the fast guys, 30 minutes for the slow guys. So I'd go out with 30 minutes for the slow guys, and I'd work with guys, and obviously there wasn't a whole lot to work on. It's raining. The whole thing is just stay upright. That's how you win. So we all went out and had a ball, and then they ended up opening. It was open track for the back half of the day. Like, if you want to go out, ride at your own pace. Yeah. So I went out and I rode for like an hour and a half, maybe longer than that. I don't know, but
as a coach, but there's nobody else out there.
Yeah, so I was
the only one.
When I first went out after lunch, there were 2 guys out there. They were opposite sides of the track. So you'd follow one of them for a little while, follow him for a lap or 2, and then you pass him and go find the next guy. Ride with him for a little while.
How long do you cook the brat in the air fryer?
The brat in the air fryer. Do it for like 6 minutes.
After it's been in the fridge?
After it's been in the fridge.
Mom!
Gotta love the kid, man. Gotta love kids, right? Do you guys have any kids?
I've got a little one on the way. She'll be here in November.
Dude, congratulations. So my son's born November 19th. Congratulations, my friend.
My birthday's November the 9th, so ours is due on the 2nd. So we'll see how close they land.
I love it, man. I love it. It's so me and my dad, our birthday is the same day, same month, May 18th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. So Dylon, do you have any chiclets in the oven?
No, not that I know of, at least. I don't think so.
We're still making sure he likes girls.
That's crazy.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
Well, that one, that's a good one to clip.
Yeah, that was good. You just wait again until I clip that and chop it. Anyway, no, coaching's absolutely amazing. It's same thing with like when I was at Daytona and I was doing the announcing. I was actually in the Mobile One Victory Lane, so I got to interview all the race winners coming up and to see, dude, to feel that energy and see the eyes and the emotions. It was absolutely, absolutely amazing. It's hard to put into words.
Mhm.
The feeling you get right when you see the excitement on something, and I'm sure it's the same with you, John. When they come in, whether it's raining, it's dry, you see their lap times change, or they achieved a goal that you guys had talked about. Dude, great. Well, whatever the case may be, and they get it and it clicks. It's like it's the best feeling in the world. Absolutely, the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. My biggest thing as coaching, like I don't like to get on to people a lot. If I see something unsafe, if I see something I've been yelled at before and I see somebody do it, I'm going to go and tell them. And usually it's not in the nicest tone, but I try to make a point. If I follow somebody and they're riding good, I pull them to the side at the end of the session. I'll follow them for the rest of the session, whether it's the first lap or the 15th lap of the session. I'm going to follow them the rest of the time and make a point to tell them they did a great job. The way they were riding, maybe it was something specific they did, or just the way they were riding overall. If it was super clean and concise and they made good passes, like I make a point to tell people that. You can just see them light up. Like you want to reward the guys. Like a lot of the things I've seen and I've experienced riding with other organizations, they'll tell you when you do something wrong, but if you're doing something right, then they're not really going to look twice at you. Where I try to make a point if I see somebody, like I said, riding good, making clean passes, following the rules at whatever group they're in, whether it be the lower groups, not passing inside, or the higher groups, like they're making good, clean passes in tight spots. Like you make a point to tell them, hey, that was really good. Keep up the good work. And I can tell it goes a long ways.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
And like watching guys, like we've got a buddy, Gabe, who he rides. He's actually the one that mentioned us on your post about it. Yeah, Gabe Pinero, or however you say his last name. But he's a super cool guy, and he was one of the first guys that I got to work with when they made me a coach in the rain that day. So he was in novice, and he's worked his way up into the I2, and he's knocking on the door of the advanced group with his pace. Like he's a really good rider. He did his first race with Azra at NCM 2 weeks ago.
Man, what do you do? 6 of them in a day? 7 races?
Yeah, he did like 6
day?
or 7 races. He signed up. The way that Azra does their classes, I don't really like it compared to Wira. I like the Wira's layout because it's pretty concise. Saturday, A, B, C, super stock, super bike. Like you know exactly what you're signing up for. Where Azra, they've got the whole weekend, which I if you can understand and see the schedule and you grasp it, it makes sense. I signed up for mine. I had no problem. I did 2 races each day. That's what I like to do. I'm comfortable with that many races. I don't want to burn myself out, spend too much money on tires. So he signed up for like 6 races, but between the lightning stand downs they had at the track and forced the track cold and just the amount of stuff he signed up for, he had 6 all day on Sunday. And it was he burned himself out. But he rode great. He made a mistake in the very last race and smooshed his bike up a little bit, but he's getting that thing fixed. He's got a loaner bike. We're gonna be riding with him. I know I'm gonna be riding this weekend with Fastline at another event at NCM, so he's gonna be there as well. But yeah, he's one of the guys. It's like it's super rewarding to watch these guys get faster. Think maybe you showed them something that helped them move up and like help them get faster. Because I know I try to give all the credit I can to the coaches, like Jack Chamberlain's another coach that's worked with us a lot. He's a big Buell guy. I actually bought one of his bikes from him. But like he just the way a lot of the coaches I've worked with before I was one, like the way they were able to relay the information, it just made so much sense. And it just translates. It translates onto the track. Like you ride good, you ride better if you can understand what the coaches are telling you.
100%. I was supposed to be at NCM that weekend when Azra was there, but they didn't do any announcing there, so I didn't come. I was going to stay with Robert actually that weekend, so which I'll be at VR this weekend with Azra, so doing the announcing on their live stream.
Yep.
I want to come out into Fastline because I want to meet Chris and Becky and hang out with everybody for the day.
Oh, you have to. They're great. Chris and Becky are the nicest people. Like I said, my first track day, they didn't know me from Adam. They let me use one of their pop-up tents because once it stopped raining, it was insufferably sunny and hot.
100%. Let me ask you two gentlemen this. I know, actually, John, you already said what you want to do. You want to make a Moto America event, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're going to do it. 100% you're going to do it. So, Dylon, let me ask you this. What is your goals and what would you like to achieve in our sport?
Man, I don't know. It's ever evolving. It's ever evolving. At first, I was kind of just doing it because he did it, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. Let me try it. And then after my first track day, I was like, oh, I don't know about all this. I don't know. But I'll be honest with you. Like you just keep going, and again, it helps when it's him because it's like I can revert back to that. We came from the same place. Like I can do that. And it's a lot. It's easier to trust him going in. So it was super gratifying as I kind of caught up to pace and really it's all of a sudden, like one day it just starts to click, and you just get comfortable there. So I don't know. I guess I need to reevaluate my goals. I don't, maybe it's not out of the question to make a Moto America race. But we'll just have to see what happens. That would be awesome.
And I will say, when we first started doing this, there was a pretty drastic gap between he and I when it came to pace and comfort on the bike and everything. But Dylon has closed that gap in the last 6 months between all the racing events. That gap is like smaller than it's ever been. So he's moving really fast. He's got a very fast bike, and it's very well set up. So it's a lot easier for him to get comfortable and confident on tracks. But like the pace has gone up significantly for him. So it makes it fun because it's no longer not that I had to slow down as much, but like I can ride at full tilt and he's still there. Like I can show off a little bit in front of him, or I can follow behind him, and it's not just, oh, I'm going to pass him in this turn. It's, all right, I got to set this pass up. I got to make sure I'm going to cleanly get around him without running the hell into him right now because he's not expecting that. Yeah. But he's moving good. So we're going to.
You guys, I think it would be great for both of you to make your debut Moto America together.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
For sure, right? And of course, iron sharpens iron, right? Again, we talked about this before we went live about the brotherhood, right? You two pushing each other. And again, I said it before we went live too. You might not really necessarily be into it like my brother's into it, but I'm going to do it because I want to be competitive just to beat him at doing it, right? So, but then you fall in love with it.
First, yeah. And then it was like, wait a second. Hang on, we're kind of good at this.
Right. Yeah, and then you just push each other, and it helps elevate each other's game. And now, so John, you're a coach. Dylon, do you seek John for any type of tips and stuff at the track, or?
Yeah, dude, he's my coach. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, he yells at me.
I just had to ask because so some brothers I know, they're like, no, I'm up, just.
No. See,
hold on now.
If I'm focusing on A through C, and he's talking about X, Y, and Z, it's like, all right, hang on, man.
So there's been situations where he'll go out and ride, and I'll watch him do something, or he'll come in the pit and he'll go, the bike feels like it's doing this. And I'll know exactly what he's feeling and how to translate it. But he goes, I'm not worried about that right now. I don't want to talk about that right now. I'm doing this. I'm like, brother, I'm right. Let me help you. This is it. If this is happening, you're doing this. If this is happening, you need to adjust this. But most of the time, we can once the helmets come off and everybody gets cooled down, it's all right. This is the bike's moving around a lot underneath you. All right, you might need a little bit of preload on your front fork because it's bottoming out, it's lifting the rear, blah, blah, blah. Just little random things, and we'll make some adjustments and go from there. But most of the time, he's super, super like a sponge absorbing information as I try to kind of relay it. And I try to make a point with him and our buddy Wyatt that rides with us 99% of the time. We try to kind of make a point to, if I'm going through something and I feel something specific or I have to make an adjustment on my bike, I'll go, hey, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm doing. And this is the result. This is how I either resolve the problem or I'm pivoting to change something else. And everybody we just kind of help each other as we learn different things and get faster and feel different things through the chassis of the bike.
100%, right? Again, iron sharpens iron, man. You learn a lot from I feel like some brothers are more open to learn from each other, where others, they're so competitive with each other, they hold certain information from them, even though they know that it would be a benefit to both. I'll say it like that, right? So I'm glad to see you guys are always, intermingling, which is great. Your guys' relationship's awesome. I wish I had that same relationship with my brother. Not gonna lie, it's my fault, right? And his fault that we don't. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. What was that, man? Brain fart. Anyway, I just had a brain fart. That's very rare that happens. But so I want to talk about, now we're coming into 2027 almost already. Ain't that crazy? Like this year's gone by so fast. So you guys are going to obviously club race the rest of this year, obviously, right? And you're going to continue doing coaching. Have you guys planned out your 2027 plans, or are you guys just taking it the rest of this season?
So I've been kind of trying to plan. So like I said, I've got the little one on the way, so that's going to change a lot of things.
That's going to put a monkey wrench in your program.
I had kind of written off the rest of this season by way of racing after the NCM event, because we live so close to NCM. I wasn't not going to race it, but I'd kind of written off the rest of the season because I knew I wasn't going to be in a points battle for Weira, because I missed Barber, and early in the season I had missed one of the tally events, the Road Atlanta event, the Cycle Jam. We missed that one. It was my anniversary that weekend, so I had to go do that, which I had a blast. I don't regret that one bit. But so I knew I wasn't in the points chase for any championships with Weira, so I kind of written it off. But after racing with NCM with Azra at NCM, kind of reignited me. So because I guess the only event we've done this year was the Little Tally. Was it a national? I think it was the national. The national at Little Tally. So they did a Saturday as Sportsman, and then the national was the Sunday. And fought for some podiums and got 2 of them out of the 4 races in the expert field. So, but I wasn't like top of the box every race. So it kind of humbled me, and it kind of made me question, all right, these guys are pretty legit. And then obviously couldn't go to Road Atlanta, missed Barber for NCM, but we went to NCM. I clean sweep. I won every race that I entered by a large margin, especially the wet races. The wet races, I've ridden it hours at NCM in the rain, so I was a little skeptical. I tried Dunlop reins for the first time, and they were great. I've gone faster than I've ever gone at NCM in the rain on those tires. Whether that was me being confident on the bike or if it was the tires, I don't know. But yeah, won those races. I think I won the first one by almost a full lap, and then there was like a 20-something second margin of victory on the second race. The dry races I was very nervous about because my R6 was. I've got a bit of a Frankenstein. It's an 06 frame and motor, but it's got an 08 harness and the velocity stacks and the intake and a very old YEC ECU and harness. And the tuner that we used was not super thrilled with it. He didn't like it at all, but it made some horsepower. But there's something wrong with it. Like it stops pulling over 14,000 RPM, like it falls on its face. So I was having to short shift every single gear, and NCM's a big ass track, so you need a lot of horsepower to make up some ground on those straights. So I knew I was down. There were some guys on some R9s and some 636s out there that were just given, or some of the Azra guys that race with them regularly, but they had never been to that track. So, or maybe a few of them had been one time. So I had a big advantage with that, but I was able to make up a lot of time in the infield and the technical stuff just from hours and hours of track time.
I don't ride in the rain, but I did carry P2 on Sunday in the dry. I'm all right with a P2 if it's behind him. So 2 orange bikes on top.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. And one thing I want to ask you guys is, dude, I call it friendship sponsorship. I see you're rocking the KYT, right? And for, dude, everybody getting into club racing or club races out there that's, nervous about asking for sponsorship, because it is kind of a nerve-wracking thing trying to find, even if it's a discount on oil or tires or whatever the case may be, right? So how did you, John, obviously you're sponsored too by Dylon by KYT? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
yeah, I pretty much get our whole team the sponsorship. So
okay.
In school and in college, I did a lot of English classes, and I got to learn how to write. I usually learn how to write like essays, formal things, and I'm very, very comfortable and competent being able to explain through an email why we should be sponsored, or how much we love the sport, what we can bring to it, the amount of eyes, how we stand out, because I'm 6'1" and 240 pounds. He's 6'3" and 230 pounds. We stick out like sore thumbs. We are head and shoulders over everyone, literally. So we a lot of people know us. A lot of people see us. They recognize us. We've got bright orange bikes. We've got crazy colored suits. Like we're pretty easy to spot in a crowd. So and that's exactly what I relay to these companies. So we've worked with Woodcraft, Vortex, and KYT are the official sponsorships we've got. But I always try to throw in Fastline because they've been so good to us over the years. And then Ryan with PFR Tires, he's the tire vendor for Fastline events. He's actually offered me. I have a legitimate sponsorship through him as well. We get tires at a really good price. So I cannot thank those guys enough. But that's just it. Like I have no problem reaching out via email. And there's a couple more companies we've sent some feelers out to, with just reaching out to their contact forms, going, hey, look, this is what we do. We race. We're race all over the Southeast, and I'd like to put your name with us at the top of the box, and with your help, we can get there. And not a whole lot of luck with the cold calling, but obviously any form that any application that I've turned in, any real application, we've gotten back and said yes, every one of them. So it's that's kind of how we approach it. Just don't be afraid to. You're not begging on your knees. You're trying to. What a lot of guys I think don't quite grasp about applying for sponsorships is you're providing a service. You are a representative for this company, and you obviously they're going to compensate you for in parts or discounts or whatever it is, maybe even money if you're really lucky. But they're gonna help you help them, because you're gonna put their name. You're gonna represent the company, and that's just how you have to relay it in the message. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, 100%. And one thing that, I tell all my friends too, are looking at when they ask me, I'm like, dude, you're going to get told 1,000 no's before that one yes, right? Like you're going to get a lot of no's, but you just got to stay on the grind. You got to have that self-belief, and you got to show everybody how bad you really want it, right? And somebody's going to see it, and they're going to me, it's like, you mentioned about being paid. What's that? Well, you're getting paid, right? What are we talking about, right? I don't even get paid to do the podcast, right? I'm like, you guys, I'm paying to do this. Yes, I got sponsorships, but I don't get paid by my sponsorships, right? But at the end of the day, I really don't care. I'm here to have fun and give back. But I tell people, man, start with your local people that you support, whether it's your local grocery store, your local mom and pop's gas station, or the little deli down the street. You're not necessarily asking for a whole lot of money. Just like, hey, like you said, you got to type it out, email, make phone calls. What worked for me is in person. Mm-hmm. Because it's harder for them to tell you no in person.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to sit behind a keyboard and say nope, or be like, okay, yeah, let's do a phone call or however it is. If you're there in person, 9 times out of 10, it's hard for them to say no, right? And but it's just a question I wanted to ask, because I ask everybody that, because everybody has their own unique way about doing it. And I got a lot of club racers that listen to this podcast, so every bit of information like that, helps everybody, grow the sport too as well. So, it's everybody needs help, because racing is expensive, And you said it earlier, 2 races on that weekend to save money for tires. So let me ask you two gentlemen this, and everybody listening, all the club races especially, dude, what's your average cost to do your race weekends?
No, my wife might be listening. No, we can't talk about that. So you can average. I don't know. I use 2
rears, 1 front, a jug of fuel.
Yeah, fuel's expensive.
And if you're not coaching, then you got to pay for the races. So,
well, you got to pay for the races regardless.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
So you're talking
and the gas to get there, and the hotels if you stay at a hotel, and the food, and
we try to rough it when we can.
Yeah, we camp as much as we can. We get a lot of we had a lot of help from our grandpa last year, so we went to a lot of race rounds, and he's got a toter home and a stacker trailer that he was going to use for drag racing, because him and our dad drag race Harleys. So that was a huge help for lodging, but that alone is its own expense. It's $250,000 just to have the rig sitting still, much less operating, going to the races. And you're talking $400 or $500 worth of fuel for that thing to get back and forth. So it's very convenient. We had it. We were able to utilize it. But, I mean, we've done races where we stayed in Airbnbs. We've
But
stayed in hotels.
realistically, the average weekend.
You're talking 1,000 minimum.
Yeah.
Upwards of $1,500 a
Yeah,
weekend.
1,000, 1,500.
So,
I usually tell everybody, dude, about $2,500. About
Yeah.
$2,500, but your fuel, getting there, getting home, you know, your tires, your hotel if you stay at a hotel.
There's no better way to spend it.
yeah, absolutely.
None.
Yeah,
None, right? You know how many credit cards in debt I've been in? Yeah.
Well,
dude.
listen,
Yes.
I've been very fortunate since I've started doing the track days, having a good job, being able to. My whole thing is I'm not going to pay for a track day if I know my house payment's going to bounce. So
100%.
I-
100%.
I'm not going to say I've sat out track days because I couldn't afford it, but there's been a few that it was questionable. But after having so many of these serious injuries that put me out of work for months on end, I try to make sure I've got a nice backlog of payments for everything before we go to the track because you never know what can happen.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. And the main thing is too, man, is everybody wants to go to work on Monday. You know,
Oh.
we're not 19 years old. We don't bounce and roll like we used to. We splat. Well, me, I just splat, and that's basically it, right? So it's you know, and I guess it also comes to a point that you got to ask yourself, like, I don't want to say never, right? Because I don't like to use that word, but I might not never win a Moto America race, right? That's basically unrealistic, but I could probably go out there and qualify and do 1 or 2 rounds, and I'm good with that, right? And
Just
and that's
be on the
perfect.
screen. Like I'll be able to go and screen record some laps of me in practice behind one of the fast guys and go, look, I was on TV racing motorcycles.
100%.
That's the goal.
100%. 110%, man. I love it. Well, gentlemen, dude, we're an hour and 36 minutes into this podcast. I told you it was going to go by quick, dude. It's been an absolute honor to sit down with you two. Let's definitely sit back down at the end of this season and do another rerun of this. We'll talk about you said you were going to sit out maybe the rest of this season, John, but what about you, Dylan? Are you gonna go out there and
Definitely, I'm thinking about making at least a Barber, maybe another Road Atlanta, and we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah.
But because I kind of just follow his lead on it, and then once I realized like, he really is planning on sitting down, I was like, all right, damn it, now I got to make my own schedule.
Well, I've kind of redirected. I know I definitely want to do the Road Atlanta. There's another Road Atlanta we're around. Well, no, I didn't. We changed topics so much. I didn't get to circle all the way back. What I had previously decided, I was going to sit out a lot of the races, but just do the coaching. But I'm kind of leaning more towards after that Azure round. I'm feeling fast. I'm feeling confident. And I should, if everything falls into place, I should have a pretty legit spec R6 come into the stables for me to ride because mine's tired. Mine does not make a lot of horsepower. It got a fresh engine over the winter, but it's not great. Where his is a late model 2018 with it's healthy. We'll put it that way. Full suspension, it's nice. So I'm looking to get another one, and that'll kind of help me because I'm at a huge disadvantage at being 100 pounds heavier than most of the other riders out there. Like I said, I'm floating around 240 right now. The goal is to slim up a little bit, but the lowest I've gotten to for race season was at 210, and I was hard pressed to get down to 210. But I'm going to slim up a little bit and hopefully have another R6 that's going to be a legit race bike that I'll just be able to only ride for racing and not coach on it. So keep the miles on the motor down. But I'm going to probably at least do one Road Atlanta round because my wife's due date is the same weekend as the GNF at Barber. We'll have to talk about my experience at Barber on another episode because I have quite a fucking story for the one time I've been to Barber.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna put that down in y'all's notebook right now, Barber, next time. Yeah, man. Listen, first thing I want to say is, gentlemen, whatever visions and goals, not only do you have in the two-world aspects, but also in your life, gentlemen, I hope you guys achieve those 10 times over, 110%. It's an honor to finally sit down and meet both you gentlemen. I could tell you guys are absolutely amazing people. I can't wait to meet in real life. I feel like we've crossed paths sometimes at the track.
We met at Cycle Jam. I know
Okay.
we were at Cycle Jam in 25. Were you at Cycle Jam last year?
Yeah, in Atlanta.
Yeah, I was there. So we met.
Okay.
I remember meeting you when I reteched my R6 on that Saturday because I didn't have the right sprockets for it, and I didn't have a chain short enough to fit my other sprockets. So I had to race my CBR on that Saturday. And boy, let me tell you, the Honda did not like those long straightaways. I was getting drafted past like I was on a 400. But the Yamaha did a little bit better. But yeah, no, I vividly remember briefly meeting you because somebody was cooking right next to where the whole thing where the registration building
Chris
is.
Parrish. Yeah, I went over there, ate tacos with him. Yeah.
They were. I vividly remember meeting you there. But
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason why I said, dude, I meet so many people. I just
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I can't wait to see you guys both again in person. Dylon, I know we haven't met, but we will 110%. I'll let you guys give all your shout outs. But first I got to give my shout outs real quick. Actually, you know what? I want to change it up real quick. I actually want to ask you guys a couple more questions. Do you guys have a couple more minutes?
Dude, absolutely. We got all night.
All right. So we got all night. Let's go. All right. So this is one of my favorite parts of the podcast too, is where I get to, pick your guys' brain on a more personal level of outside the racing. So everybody that don't know you get to know you a little bit better. So the first thing I want to ask both of you gentlemen is, dude, if me and you go out, we're at a cookout or going out to the bar, dude, what's our go-to karaoke song we're singing?
Ooh, that's a good one. You go
Probably
first.
Low Places. Who sang that?
It's a country song.
That one. Yeah.
Yep.
Probably that one. Was it Garth Brooks?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't remember. My wife will know like this, right? I listen to country, but I don't.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's been so long.
Bill,
probably some Hank Williams, some Hank Jr. Or like Whiskey Bit and Hellbound's probably it. It's a good one. Or Family Traditions. Everybody knows that one.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Family Tradition. Yeah, me. I'm usually the Sublime guy, so I'm like, throw on some Sublime. Let's go, right? Yeah. So.
There you go.
Yeah, I like karaoke. Karaoke is a lot of fun, man. A lot of people, they're nervous or scared. I'm like, dude, I can't sing. You can't sing. We're all good singers in the shower, but who gives a shit? We're out to have fun.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's go. Dude, tell us something we don't know about you, John and Dylon. What's something we don't know about you guys?
I don't drink. I don't know. A lot of people are weird about it. I don't drink. I don't like drinking. It's not my vibe. I don't drink. I don't smoke nothing. I don't do anything. I'm pretty just straight edge about a lot of things.
Just raw dog and life.
And I think that a lot of that is why I take the track stuff so serious. It's my thing,
It's your drug.
Yeah.
What about you, Dylon?
Something somebody doesn't know about me. I don't know. You got any ideas?
You get hit on my K gun a lot.
No. Here's a fun one. I have showed up to many tracks and gotten mistaken as him. So I just show up and they'll put like a group up sticker on. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go. He gets so mad when it happens. He's like, oh, I'm just riding my coattails. I'm like, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, bro.
They just put it on.
Yeah, bro gets the accidental brotherly bump regularly.
Not anymore.
Not anymore because he's in the advanced group. But yeah, when we were going to the track days regularly and I was in a group up from him, he got moved up to my group regularly.
I love it. That's awesome. What's your guys' dream bike? I know it's kind of a convoluted question, right? Because there's so many out there somebody wants, but the first one that comes to your mind or one is when you first got into it, you looked at it, you're like, dude, one day I might have that, whether it's a garage ornament or it sits in my bedroom or whatever it is.
I got a current one. I'm really, really liking the sounds of a fully built R1. Like I said the other day, JD's Attack Yamaha R1, dude.
It's
sick.
Very funny because I'm thinking it'd be really, really. I really want to ride a V4R. I don't know that I want to own one just because they are rough, like the by way of the expense. Like they're just so expensive to own and then to operate is just the operating costs are outrageous. But a V4R, like a World Superbike spec or like even a Moto America Superbike spec, one of that level, it would just be because I don't have a dream bike just to sit in my garage. I want one that I can ride. But I think one that I would really actually like to get would be like was one of like a CBR, like a CBR triple R, the Fireblade, a Fireblade triple R that's pretty built. Like it'd be super cool to get a super bike spec triple R. I think that's going to be a little bit more achievable, but I'd like to own one of those at some point, be able to ride it and like really enjoy it. And obviously with the superbike stuff, it'd be nice to get like a data engineer to help with some of that. But all the superbike stuff is a little new to me because I've never messed with any of the laptop stuff. Our R6s, you just twist the throttle and go. But yeah, some super high spec super bike would be pretty much any of the brands, you name it, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Honda, BMW, like is something just a super high spec super bike would be any of them. Any of them would be so awesome.
Absolutely, they would, right? One bike that always comes to my mind is if you guys ever heard of the Crichton.
Yeah.
With the rotary motor, dude, bro,
yeah.
I want one of those so bad. I would love to have that. The thing is fucking wicked, dude. Yes, our World Superbike spec ZX7RR, old school, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm old school.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah. Absolutely. Let me ask you two gentlemen this: what is your worst habit?
Probably cursing.
I grew up in the Navy, so that's just normal to me, right? Like it's.
Yeah, I've caught myself. I feel like it makes somebody sound a little unintelligent when they do it a lot. And
yes.
If I hear other people doing it, I think that, and then I realize, we've gone tit for tat with this guy for the last 2 hours. I probably do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that's my worst habit. It's just how much I curse.
Dylon, what about you?
Probably not being good at sitting still. No, that would have to be it. Always on the go. We've kind of both always been that way.
Me too. Always on the go. Whether if I'm sitting still, you guys can't see, but you can probably see this shaking sometimes. My leg just going like this, just because
I keep hitting the table that the computer's sitting on, so I'm sure you've seen that thing wiggle. That's all. I can't stop.
I can't help it, right? It's just me. It's who I am, right?
But when you're on fire, you sit perfectly still.
When it takes everything.
Every ounce of your focus is directly into what you're doing.
It's the only time that, I say it all the time. It's like, I don't care what you're going through. Like I'll use it. Well, my grandma passed away. Like the only thing I said, my dad called me up. I was at work. He says, dude, your grandma just passed away. Of course I start crying. He's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm good. He's like, do you want me to come get you? I said, I just want to ride. He said, I don't think that's a good idea. I said, I'm going to go ride. I'll catch up with y'all later. I went, got on my bike, 4 or 5 hours, however long it was, just to clear my head or whatever it is, right? But it's my mental. It is my throttle therapy. It's my mentals for sure, right? So, man, 100%. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Do you guys listen to any audiobooks?
I do.
I don't listen to audiobooks, but I try to listen to a lot of podcasts specifically about racing. Like I said, I've listened to the entire Ken Hill Racing backlog. Like I've listened to every one of his podcasts. I've listened to yours a few times. I've listened to the Chasing the Racing podcast, some guys overseas, and then the Outside Line. I love that because they talk about World Superbike, MotoGP, BSB.
James Whitman and them, yeah, dude. Yeah. I met James.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. When I went to BSB, I went to Cadwell Park in 23.
Yeah.
So
but I listened to the Corey Alexander and James Rispoli.
Pipe Dreams,
dude. Religiously, as soon as one comes out, I love their show. It's so awesome. We need to see what we can do to get Pin the Gas on Apple Podcasts, because if it was on Apple Podcasts, I'd be listening to every single episode, because I drive so much for work, and I love listening to these podcasts about, especially the ones that host other racers. It's one thing to talk about racing. Well, that's why I like the Pipe Dreams, because you get to hear their story, and I know I've listened to yours a few times, and the people tell their story. It's so interesting to me, and you just learn so much about who they are as a person. Yep. So I don't know what it takes. I don't know what strings I can help you pull, but we got to get this thing on Apple Podcasts. I promise you'll have at least one listener.
I love it. You know, I've been going back and forth with Apple. I'm everywhere but Apple. Like I submitted my podcast. They sent me an email. They said, yes, you're good to go. Just hit the publish button. I go hit the publish button and nothing happens. It's like Apple is like Facebook. You can't get nobody on the phone. I can't get nobody to remote take over my computer and show me exactly what. I mean, I did everything that all the email. I got thousands of emails. Like I got to the point where I'm like, you know what, Apple? I'm done messing with you guys right now. I'll revisit it next year, right? Like I just need to but everywhere else I'm at, Spotify, iHeart, blah, 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 YouTube, all that good stuff. So yeah, you can still catch Pendergast on Podbean. I mean, wherever. Basically, I was listening. So I've been with the Apple since the iPhone 4.
Yeah.
I got a Samsung Galaxy
Yeah.
26 Ultra. It's my first Android for years, right? So I'm like, I listen to Spotify anyway, most of the time. So, but the only thing that I did miss is my Apple books. I can't download Apple books on my Samsung, right? So now all the books, motorcycle books, biographies I had, I got to rebuy again on this thing. Yeah, right. So I'm not going to do it because I've already listened to them, but the new one's coming out. I am. So, yeah, man, podcasts, dude. I listen to a lot of podcasts too. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. From Danny Jones to you name it, right? Racing, whatever. There's a lot of good podcasts out there. There's also a lot of shitty podcasts out there too, as well. 110%, right? So Dylon, do you do the same thing? Are you audio? Obviously, you shook your head yes to audiobook. So are you currently listening to one now you can recommend to people?
One that I just revisited recently. It's more of like a self-help book. I'm really big into that kind of stuff. It's called Obstacle is the Way.
I love it. Yeah, the last audiobook before I got this one, I started I can't even remember what I started because I literally started like I got 2 pages into it and then I got this phone. But the last full audiobook I listened to was not that too long ago is The Art of Racing in the Rain. Great book. It's a movie too. Have you guys seen the movie?
No, sir.
Okay, so it's absolutely amazing. It's a race car driver, and he gets this puppy in the movie is told through the dog's eyes. Absolutely amazing, right? So I'm an animal lover. I got dogs. Do you guys have dogs or cats?
I got 2 dogs.
Yeah, me too. What about you, Dylon?
I don't.
He is a dog.
So basically, John, you got 3.
Yeah. Help out, so I ain't got to worry about that.
I love it, but listen, it's a great book. It's a great movie. As Dylon, you know, you watch a movie, but you listen to the audiobook or you read it, it's almost a completely different movie. There's so much more to it, right? So, yeah, of course, as far as road racing books, man, I've listened to Guy Martin just released one that I am going to buy and listen to.
Really?
I listen to all of Guy Martin's, John McGinnis, Joey Dunlop, Michael Dunlop, Michael Rudder, Johnny Ray, John Hop, you name it. I've listened to every single one of them. I recommend all of them, but the one that, man, I talk about quite often, dude, is John Hopkins Leather, bro. Highly recommended. They're all highly recommended. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like, Dylon, you know, and you listen to podcasts and you might listen to some people's story, but sometimes I ask myself, like, how genuine is this guy really or this girl really being, right? Whether it's through a book or whatever, right? With John Hopkins, dude, he tells it all. He talks about his alcohol, pill addiction, smoking weed while he's riding a MotoGP bike, like all this shit. You're just like, what the, you know what I mean? Like, this is absolutely insane. It was one of those books where I'm just like, I got to listen to one more chapter. Next I know it's 3:00 in the morning. I got to be at work at 6 a.m., right? And I'm like, I'm just going to stay up and just listen to a couple more chapters of this book, you know, and continue it at work. So, yeah, man, absolutely. Dylon, as far as podcasts go, same thing. Do you listen to like motorcycle podcast or?
I listen to some motorcycle podcasts. I like to listen to like sciencey type stuff too. The Andrew Huberman Lab.
Yeah, I listen to Andrew.
Yeah.
If you ask my wife, she calls me a conspiracy theory because, dude, I question everything.
Yeah.
Everything you tell me, I'm like I had one of my friends I had on the podcast. We started talking. I was like, I don't believe we went to the moon, and she was like, well, I work blah blah blah, and I'm like, I still don't believe we went to the moon, right? So I just question everything, whether we did or not. I don't know, but it's just me, right? So yeah, I like that too, man. I like you know, the whole ice wall and Antarctica, blah blah blah. Anyway, we're going down a rabbit hole, but yes, absolutely yes. Are you gentlemen into spicy food? Do you guys like spicy food?
A little bit. I kind of am.
Dylan's like,
I'm out.
Yeah, I like a little bit within reason. You know, I don't want to hurt myself, but it's nice. A little bit of flavor and never hurt nobody.
all right. I like the real hot, like the last one, the hot ones on YouTube. You guys watch that? Yeah, the last dab hot sauce. Yeah, that's my style right there. Yeah,
All right.
it's good.
Oh, you.
Yeah, you.
It's good. It's good. Let me ask you this: what's the one superpower you gentlemen wish you had?
Time travel.
All right. Wait, John. Time travel, Dylan. Where would you go? What's the first place you would go?
Forward.
But where forward though? Like 40 years, 100 years?
Well, I don't know. Well, it depends on how many you get. If I go 40 and I'm not there, that's gonna suck. So then maybe you go back to 20. I don't know. But forward.
That's the thing, right? Forward. I like it. You wouldn't go back at all?
It depends. At some point, I bounce around
Yeah.
if I had the ability often. But the first place is forward.
Yeah. I would go back. Honestly, if it was me, there's a lot of places I'd go, but I'd be like, I want to go see how the pyramids were actually built.
Yeah, that'd
Be cool.
Yeah.
Right? Like I want to see for myself, how was this actually done? So yeah, absolutely. John, what would you be your superpower?
My superpower, I don't know. It's either super strength or flying. I don't really know. I feel like super flying. I don't know. It's like they're both. You can do some cool things with both. Probably super strength, because again, being as big as we are, we're both very strong as well, like relative to most other people. But being able to like just do shit is with your hands is like the biggest flex in the world. So like imagine you could pick up cars and stuff, or like lift houses. But if I had the ability to time travel, I'd time travel back to 2010 and buy as much Bitcoin as I could afford. That's what I would do.
Go back to all the Bitcoin. I hear you on that. Be like, dude, let me get 500 shares. Let's go.
Dude, yeah, I'd drop 50 grand.
Okay, but imagine like why? Why? Because if you go back to then, you know more about now. So if I go forward and I see what's important, then I can come back here and just make it now.
Yeah, but if you could be a billionaire right now, I think you'd be pretty well set for whatever comes at you.
But it'd be better to be rich in the future because there's more options.
I feel like I'm willing to kind of accept whatever's coming at me. Like if I could better prepare myself for what's going to come, I would. Whereas I guess if he could sneak into the future, he just wants to know the answer. Where I'm kind of up for whatever happens. That's my kind of way I look at it. So
yeah, absolutely. I put a lot of thought into this because I've asked it over 500 times. I used to say flying like Superman, right? Superman, if I flew, I got superpower, X-ray vision, all this. And then I got thinking about it. I'm like, I want to teleport. I'd rather teleport because I can be like, dude, I'm gonna go to Magello. Boom, I'm in Magello. I'm going home. Right, boom, I'm going home. All right, hey, John and Dylan, I'll be there, and you're at your work here in like 2 seconds. Boom, we're gonna do it live there, right? And then go home, right? So, yeah, I think teleportation would be, what I would do for sure. Are you guys currently binge watching anything on TV you can recommend to anybody?
I'm a big TV guy. I'm not.
I'm not, but I watch stuff. My wife likes to watch things. She likes shows. She's on this House of Dragons thing. I don't like it at all. I don't watch it. It's not my vibe. I tried. It's just make believe people playing dress up. It's not my thing. But there is a show. There's a few shows that we've watched that I'm like, man, this is a good TV show. One of them was Bridgerton. It's such a silly show, but it's. I can't even begin to explain it. You just got to watch it. It's a pretty good show. Like it's definitely girly love story stuff, but it's in like the medieval times. But it's a good show. There was some other show recently we were watching that we were both really enjoying. I can't remember for the life of me what it was called. But I know Bridgerton it's such a goofy thing for a dude to like. But it was a really good show. Like I really kind of got into it. I'm like, oh, this is juicy.
Shelby says, not the Bridgington. That's hilarious.
Dude, it's a great show.
I haven't seen that. I don't get the chance to watch TV a whole lot neither. The last full series that I watched was Ted Lasso on Apple TV. Super cool. Absolutely. I'm a big soccer fan. Yeah. Football, the real football, right? Not the handball Americans call football. Soccer, right? So basically they take a football coach from America and they fly his ass to England and they stick him as a head coach at a soccer team.
Yeah, I've seen
And
some.
it's-
I've seen some of the clips from it. Like it looks like
It's-
a really good show.
Hilarious. It's just one of those shows where like at first I was like, yeah, I like soccer. I don't know how good this is gonna be. And then after the first episode, I was like, this is actually brilliant, right? So my wife, she's more like every time I go out in the living room, she's like, because we have TVs in every room in the house. Like I think most people got TVs pretty much everywhere, right? So our main living room, she's in there, she's watching live PD or true crime or all this shit, right? Me, I'm in there, I'm watching reruns of MotoGP. If not a race is coming on, reruns of Moto America or something like that. So we got our own little rooms. Of course, my son's in there probably playing Fortnite or on the Oculus or probably talking shit to one of his friends like we all do, right? So yeah, there was a series my wife said she wanted to start. Reacher. Me and my son started because I like to sit down for like an hour a night with my family, do nothing, cut all the phones off. Let's just watch. I don't care if we're just sitting there staring at the wall. Let's just be in presence, right? Mm-hmm. So we started watching what's it called? Reacher. The Reacher? A Reacher?
Reacher, yeah, that's a show.
Yeah, Reacher. That's it on Amazon Prime, I think it's on. It's actually pretty good. We're on the 4th episode, I think, now. Mm-hmm. So my wife, she's like, yeah, it's not really her style, but she enjoys it anyway. I guess being with us. Tattoos. Do you guys have any tattoos?
Got a lot of road rash and stuff, but no tattoos.
None. Are you guys planning on getting any?
Nah,
not You don't put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari, dog.
I can't say anything. I got tattoos. I got a bunch. I'm getting more, but
yeah. I got nothing against them. It's just like I said, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on the surgeries that created a lot of these scars, so I'm not going to cover them up.
He said they are my natural tattoos. It's funny because Becky Myers in the house. What is up, Becky? She says, wrecking a motorcycle and not getting injured for your superpower.
I've done that a few times. I've crashed some track bikes. You slide off, you pick them up and ride it back.
Absolutely. Dude, are you gentlemen? Do you guys play any video games? Are you guys gamers?
No, sir. I haven't played a video game in 15 years.
All right. I'm a gamer, but again, it's not something I get to enjoy all the time. If I have an extra 2 hours and I ain't got shit else to do, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play some video games, right? Because I like playing video games when I can, sure. But dude, your world, dude. When you're, do you know if you're having a son or a daughter yet?
Having a daughter, having a little girl.
Bro, dude, I'm so pumped for you. I'm so happy, dude. I'm telling you, when I had my son, it was like. Obviously, nobody knows what to expect, right? All this anxiety and all this. Am I going to be a good dad at this and this and this? Dude, when he come into this world, from the minute I held him, dude, my whole world flipped upside down. The way I view things, the way I talk, the way I do just everything. I feel like it puts on this little internal switch for dads, right? This little dad switch kind of comes on naturally. Like same thing for mom, right? It's dude, it's the greatest feeling in the world. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's dude, listen, I love racing. Line up on the track's the best thing ever, but nothing compares to being a dad. 110%. Nothing compares, dude. I'm pumped, bro, for you.
Bro, I'm so excited. Like we've been getting the nursery ready. I painted the nursery over the 4th of July weekend. I put together the crib. The wife got this cute little stamp thing that like she painted these little flowers on one of the walls, like an accent wall, and it looks like wallpaper, but it's just like I'm getting so excited. The closer we get, the more excited I get.
And I'm not the type of person to give people advice. This is all I'm gonna say. Being a dad, you think time goes by fast now, bro? You just wait. You wait till she gets here, and you know, you'll be me and my wife every 2 hours we switch. She get up, I got up, blah blah blah. But now all that's just like a distant memory. It's like, dude, time. My son's 13 now. It's like I look back, I'm like, where the fuck did the time go? It's such a thief, bro. I'm telling you, just enjoy all those times when they're little and they can't crawl, they can't do nothing, right? It's easy then because if you got to poop, you just bring them in there in a little carrier and sit down and poop or whatever, right? When they start crawling and walking, bro, if you're home alone with them and you got to poop real bad, you got to run back there and poop and they're crawling down the hall, dude, bro, your life's getting ready to change, dude, but it's all for the good, right? You can still race, you can still do all that. It's Chris Hardy says, don't blink. Facts, my friend. 110%. But I'm pumped.
It already feels like that. Like it seems like a week ago she was coming into the kitchen and showing me the test and said she was pregnant. Like it's incredible how fast it's gone. Like November, we found out in March. We found out I think March, the first week of March or something. Like she was really, really early when she found out. I think she was like 4 weeks when we found out. So it was 3 or 4 weeks. But like November is coming so fast, it's not even funny. But like I could not be more excited.
Yeah, man. I'm pumped for you, dude. I am. It's awesome. And then of course Dylan's gonna be Uncle Dylan. Let's go.
Teach all the bad stuff.
Right, and the cool thing about being an uncle is you could take them, spoil them, and just drop them off, and you ain't got to rip all the consequences. Except for John calls you up and be like, "Dude, blah 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 blah."
Oh yeah,
I love it, dude. This is gonna be great. Oh man, well, listen, gentlemen, dude, this has been a lot of fun. We're actually a little bit over 2 hours on this podcast right now. Let's definitely sit back down. You guys just down with me for a second. We're gonna go ahead and schedule our second one. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys in the podcast. I always do. I let all my friends in the podcast by letting you guys give the shout outs where they can find you on social, all that good stuff. But I got to give mine first real quick, right? First and foremost, as I always say, dude, thank you so much, John and Dylan, for coming on there. And if it wasn't for everybody that comes on this podcast, I would not be sitting here in this seat, right? Seriously, it's an absolute honor to be able to do this, much less be accepted amongst everybody in this beautiful circus. So thank you guys and girls so much. It's nothing but love to each and every single one of you. Again, if it wasn't for you two and everybody else, I wouldn't be here. Pendergast would not even exist. So thank you. You guys are absolutely mega proper superstars, as I always say. Big shout out to Kabuto America helmets, man. I mean, I can't say – I'm getting ready to do a review on it. I've had it since Road Atlanta this year. I wanted to wear it, like properly sweat in it, wear it, for months to get – a true review on it, not just wear it 2 or 3 times, but like, yeah, it's great, it's this, it's that, blah blah blah, right? So dude, Kabuto America it's one of my favorite helmets. Actually, it is my favorite helmet. It's the only helmet that fit me right out the box. You guys know the deal. I talk about it all the time, right? If you're interested, go to KabutoAmericas.com. Dude, check out their website, pick you up a helmet. If you go to Moto America, they go to a lot of other rallies too around America. They were just at one in was it Nevada? I can't remember. Scott was out there with somebody. Anyway, they will be at I'm pretty sure they're going to be at VRR here in August. So if you guys show up, man, go to Kabuto's. I'll take you up there to Scott. Dude, pick one up. Try it on yourself. Trust me. You're absolutely going to fall in love with it. We had this conversation before we started this, how important it is a full proper custom suit is, right? It's 2026. People take that off the rack suit, give it to a buddy that's looking into getting the track days, right? Donate to him or make a purse or a backpack and give it to your wife or your future daughter, right? But do yourself a favor, get yourself a full proper suit, right? I'm with Komani AGV Sports Group. There's VO2, there's Hyper Naked, there's so many out there. The main thing is get yourself a properly fitted suit. It is an absolute game changer. Same thing with the undersuit, right? Your Nikes and your Under Armour, it's not the same as a 64-degree racing undersuit. Absolutely not even on the same planet, right? Same thing as the you hear my wife yelling at. Oh, so we got a 7-month-old puppy. Well, he's 8 now, and he is a heathen. He's a lab Weimaraner mix. Oh, and he's all over the place, bro. He's absolutely. He's a cuddle bug. He'll sleep with you. He loves to be in your lap and all this, but you cannot take your eyes off him for 5 seconds, bro, because he's into some shit for sure, as you guys can hear right now. Anyway, back to the shout out. 64-degree racing. You guys and girls can go to venomsport.com. Again, it don't matter. Get yourself a full proper fitted suit, custom, and a proper undersuit. It's an absolutely game changer. Big shout out to K-Tech Suspension, SFL Mini GP in South Florida and in Jersey. I mean, that's where a lot of the legends of the sport are coming out of, right? You got A.V. Dreyer, you got Ella, you got Brandon Posh, Gus Roeder. I mean, the list goes on. And what I love about SFL Mini GP, it's all you do is register and show up. So let's say, John, you have your daughter, she's 4. You want to get her on a bike, you go to sflmini.gp.com, you register. They provide the bikes, the boots, the gloves, the helmets, everything. All you do is show up. They even have bike rentals if you was interested in buying a Z125 or a Grom or a TTR 125, you can even rent the bikes there too as well. It's absolutely amazing. The best program we have here in America, in my personal opinion. All you got to do is turn on Moto America. It's where a lot of the people are coming out of. So if you guys and girls are interested, sflminigp.com. They have one in Jersey. They also got one in South Florida. Big shout out to the Clothing Kings. He's Martin, man. I love Martin. So this is my original friendship, aka sponsor out there in the UK. You guys and girls out there can go to theclothingkings.co.uk and get all your Pin to Gas podcast merch. Everybody's always asking me about my soft shell jacket. That's where I got it from. It's exactly where I got it from. Absolutely amazing products. I got 3 friends that make graphics in the industry, right? You're not going to go wrong by ordering from either of them. Whether you want your car wrapped, your helmet wrapped, your bike wrapped, your dog wrapped, your wife wrapped, it don't matter. They can wrap it all, right? So do yourself a favor. You can go to grgdesigns.com. Everybody knows Gus Rodeo out there on the grid and Super Hooligans. Absolutely killing it, right? He has a graphic design. Also, Chris Grizel from Drip and Wet. Everybody knows the legend he is. And then my man Reese Brody from REB Graphics. I actually sent him a T-shirt, and he hooked me up with some Pin to Gas podcast stickers right here. So big shout out to Reese Brody at REB Graphics. Big shout out to Aaron Stevenson, his Corner Spin School. Have you guys ever thought about taking that? Have you guys heard about that Corner Spin?
No, what is that?
All right, so Corner Spin, Aaron Stevens had it's in North Carolina. You're on little CRF 100s and TTR 125s out there on the dirt, slipping and sliding around. It's an absolutely amazing program. There's a lot of road racers that go out there and train on those bikes. So it's an amazing program. Again, just go to cornerspin.com, sign up and show up. They provide the bikes and everything. Of course, you got to bring your own gear. They don't provide that, but yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I'm a huge fan of, dirt riding. Flat track to me is one of the best ways, I think, to train for road racing, right? Because you're constantly sliding the front. You have no front brake, but it's the grip. You're riding a bike with no grip, making it grip, getting the speed still out of it, right? Front slipping, rear slipping. But then when you do get on the track, John and Dylon, when you go out there and turn one and the front starts to tuck a little bit, it's like muscle memory when you go out there and shoot a gun. You want to be proficient at it, you got to continually do it. You want to get faster on the bike, you got to have that seat time. Same thing, right? So if anybody's interested, go to cornerspin.com and sign up. Aaron Stevenson's an absolute legend in the sport. Big shout out to Truth Be Told Apparel, remixrecovery.org, and of course the Paddock, man. So my buddy Chris is his name. He has a company called the Paddock. Whether you're a track day addict, a weekend rider, or just a lover of two wheels, check out the Paddock. We are building a community that brings riders together through apparel and trusted supporters from across the world. Visit thepaddockllc.com and join the ride. So yeah, how I linked up with these guys is I joined his Facebook thing, but he put out a thing, a giveaway. You sign up, you tag somebody, you do this, do that. Dude, so I won a hat and a T-shirt, and since then we got to talking. So we're in cahoots now to do collaborations together. So you guys and girls, stay tuned because there's some things coming from the Paddock and Pin to Gas podcast. One last thing that I want to say before I hand the mic over to John and Dylon is, listen, big shout out to all the corner marshal workers out there, all you guys and girls. If it wasn't for you guys and girls out there, Dylon wouldn't be going to the track, John wouldn't be going to the track, and I damn sure wouldn't be going to the track, right? It's because of each and every single one of you. The reason why we can show up, same thing with Road Racing World. I need you guys and girls to go to roadracingworld.com, donate to the air fences. It's imperative that we have those air fences. If we didn't have those, again, we're not going to any track and racing, right? Without the corner marshal workers and the air fences, we have no game, right? So big shout out to you guys and girls. If anybody's interested in being a corner marshal worker, have you guys ever corner marshaled?
Never done it. Never done it.
Do you guys want to?
I'd rather be on the track, truthfully.
Well,
I've thought about it. There's a PTC Evolve GT runs at track days down there. They've offered. I've seen them. I've considered going down there and doing some corner marshaling for them, just because you get if you corner marshal on Saturday, you get to ride on Sunday for free. Yep. So there's a nice little trade off there.
100%. But if anybody's interested, hit me up. I'll put you in direct contact with the people that will get you out there on those corner marshal stands, which is absolutely amazing. And last but not least, people, please Stop ordering shit off of Walmart and Target and Temu and all this shit for motorcycles. Man, you got to keep it in the industry. You got to support those local vendors in your local motorcycle shops that support you. Because if you stop supporting our local vendors, right, and they're gone, then who do we got? Our sport's going to get smaller. Yep. I don't care if you get a 15, 10% discount. All you got to do, we talked about sponsorship earlier, just ask the question. That's all you got to do, right? It's very important that you guys stop doing it. It's really hurting our sport. Keep it within the sport. I know John knows a bunch of people. Dylon knows a bunch of people. I know a bunch of people. If there's anything that anybody wants out there, from chains, sprockets, clip-ons, air filters, you name it, I know between us three, I'm not going to say we know everybody, but we know a lot of people. We can point you in the right direction and get you the parts you need at a competitive price that everybody else is selling it at, right? So just stop it. Just stop, right? It's killing the game. It really is. But that's all I have. John, Dylon, dude, tell everybody where they can find you on social media. Give all your sponsorships a shout out, and whoever else you want to give a shout out to.
Bill, this is you.
No, you go first. I'll close it out.
I mean, really, thank you for having us. I got to thank Bill for getting me into this. He goes by Bill, by the way. That's in case you haven't caught on to that. For anybody out there, Becky threw it in the comment section. Thank you for that. But no, man, thank you for having this. Thank you to Fastline for allowing us to feel at home, feel so welcomed. And it's the one that no matter how hard you want to push, how far you want to go, there's capacity there to do it. So it's been a blast. It's been fun being here talking to you, and I'm really looking forward to what Bill's got to say here.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, Chris. I really appreciate the opportunity to sit here and talk about our journey so far, and hopefully it's just beginning. We're great things to come. That's the goal, at least. But no, I just want to thank you a lot for this. This has been really fun. But I also want to give a shout out to all of our friends and sponsors. Obviously, Chris and Becky at Fastline. They've been absolute treats to work with. Ryan with PFR Tires. If you need Pirellis, hit him up. PFR Tires on Facebook. He'll get you squared away. Obviously, Woodcraft and Vortex and KYT. All those companies have been a huge help for when we crash our bikes, because we crash our bikes pretty good. They're phenomenal companies, and they've obviously helped us. They've put their faith in us to carry their brands, and I feel like we've done a pretty good job for them. But they're really good. I think that's it. Thanks to Dylon for obviously keeping up with me, and obviously always giving me somebody to ride with.
I love it. Chris says, John, congrats on the baby girl. Good listening to you guys, man. Thanks so much. Oh yeah, and thanks to everybody in the chat tonight, man, that tuned in and watched. This podcast will be out here. Just give me about an hour. It'll be out on Spotify, iHeart. I'll actually send you guys. I don't have your number, Dylon, but I got John, so I'll text him the link. So you guys, when you're on the road, you can pop in Spotify and listen to this. Just down with me for a brief second, and we'll go ahead and schedule our next podcast. And yeah, that's basically all I got. I will be at Azra. I'll be at VRR. I'm going there tomorrow for the Azra. I'll be announcing on their live stream this weekend, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing all my friends at the track. I love going there. It's just like any time, right? You get it's the build up, all this. You get excited. You show up on Friday. You blink. It's Sunday, and you're going home.
Yeah,
it's always the case, right? That's always it. It is. You try to enjoy every moment and sit back and just kind of take it in, right? Then you're like, you blink and it's over. It's like, what? So I got this camera. I've had it for a little while. It's AI tracking. So I did a certain hand movement, and I just cut it off by doing that. You cut it on, and it'll start moving around. And I like to use my hands sometimes, and it does. It has a mind of its own, but. Yeah. Anyway, well, that's all I have, gentlemen. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute honor to have you guys on. Can't wait for part 2. And we'll see you guys and girls soon. Don't forget the MotoGP races this weekend at Sachsenring. I asked the question earlier. Do you guys think Marc Marquez is going to win this weekend?
I don't know. I really don't know, man. He's I watched him in that World Ducati Week race, and he seemed to be really nursing whatever he had just recently injured. He was hurting. I think it was his shoulder. He was still working on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, dude, I don't know.
You never know. He's one to pull one out of a bag.
Yeah,
so
Pecco might have it. You never really know. He's not having the best season this year, but
Pecco hadn't been doing good since Marquez showed up on the team because he got right here. That's just my personal belief. That's how I see it. I mean, it's dude, you got one of the goats of so real quick, I say this all the time. Everybody says goat, with Valentino Rossi and Mark Marquez and all that. Yes, they're absolutely legends of the sport, right? When you say aliens and all this, but the true aliens of the sport is every man and woman that throw their leg around a bike and race the Isle of Man TT, the Northwest 200, the Macau. Those are the true aliens of the sport. And the reason why I say that is because you could take Peter Hickman, Michael Dunlop, whoever it is, throw them at the TT, take them off, and throw them at Brands Hatch or Road America, and they're going to be just as fast, right? But what you won't see is Valentino Rossi or whoever coming from GP or World Superbike going over to the TT Island and racing. They're going to watch, but they ain't going to ride the track, right? So those are the true aliens of the sport. 110%. But anyway, I'll sit here and do this all night if I don't end this podcast. Good seeing you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Stand with me for 1 second. We are out of here. I hope everybody has a proper mega weekend, and we will see you soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Let me end this.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.